Hello, everybody. I'm back. I'm alive. I survived. Oh, boy. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing out there? Because I didn't do a show for a week, I don't know, some reason my camera settings all reset, so I'm trying to dial everything back in, so I realize the colors are fucked right now. I gotta dial it in. It'll take time. It's so annoying, dude. You spend all this time getting it all set the way you like it, the way you go, okay, I look pretty decent this way. Okay, because that's what it's about. It's about not looking terrible. So you go, okay, let me fuck with the colors. Oh, I'm too white here. I'm too... And then one day, it just all of a sudden resets, and I gotta start all over again. So once again, The Onion is claiming to basically be taking over Infowars. They announced Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric's show as the creative director. This is weird, man, because Alex is still doing Infowars, so I don't understand how this works. Apparently, they're paying for a licensing deal from the Sandy Hook families to be able to license the rights to use the Infowars name. So it looks like Alex is still going to be using the Infowars name while The Onion is licensed to pretend like they're Infowars. Really weird, really weird. We got a little bit on that. We got Tucker Carlson and Patrick Bet-David having a little war. Tucker hasn't responded yet to the latest, but we'll go over where we're at on that one. And Team Tucker all the way on that. PBD is... I don't know, dude. PBD is a shady character, and the way he responded to Tucker, because PBD said, like, basically Catholics have a thing where they hate Jews. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. And Tucker responded to that, and then PBD responded to Tucker, and he didn't really even address Tucker's claims or what Tucker's issues are. He just basically insinuated Tucker's taking money from Qatar and all this weird shit, man. We really got to cleanse this right-wing side of the world, man, and get rid of these fucking grifters. We got to get it back to, like, actual America First types who actually care about fixing this country, because it's become abundantly clear that so many of the supposed MAGA types really did not give a fuck about fixing this country. They were just riding the train. And PBD's one of them. I think PBD is just riding that train, bro. Just like, oh, if I just keep sucking Trump's dick every fucking day, I'm going to end up with a big show. And it's worked. It's worked.
At L_Yeffer-67 super chatted $20. Welcome back, Ping.
Thank you.
You sound good, brother. Yeah. I half expected you to come back sounding like Alex Jones.
Yeah, no, my voice is starting to come back. I still have a little bit of a cough. Oh, I'm trying to get this to where I can see the chat, because it looks like the chat's not refreshing in my OBS. Okay. Yeah, it's gotten a little bit better, LFA. I'm not 100%, but I'm definitely good enough to do the show. And thank you for the 20, brother.
At Jet4804 super chatted $1.99.
Thank you, Jet. Jet on, Jetty. Let's get to the Infowars stuff, man. Thank you guys for the support. Links are in the description if you want to become a member. You want to support the show, join the Discord, all that good stuff. It's all in the description. Also, you can send super chats if you want to join the conversation. It's much appreciated and helps support the show and keeps me doing a show. So yeah, sorry about the time off, guys. Like it was a double whammy of being sick. It was what they call hay fever or whatever. It was all the fucking trees around me were just, it rained and they shed like crazy. I think it's specifically with me. I think it's the oak trees that get me. And yeah, it was like, it gave me like a hay fever to where it was all throat and chest and talking. Everything was difficult. If you heard the last couple of shows I did, and even the clip I put out of Alex Jones, like, you could tell it was a struggle to talk. But on top of that, I'm having more issues with my father as well, where I don't want to get into too many details because it's his, it's his issues, and I want to respect his privacy. But just, if you've been down the road of having a parent who starts...
Nugs 4424 became a member.
Nugs. Thank you, brother. Much love. If you've been down that road where you have an elderly parent who starts to lose their abilities, like basic abilities to do basic things, you know what I'm going through, and I don't wish it on anybody because it's nightmarish, and it's going to be hard to balance my duties of taking care of him because we're just, it is where it is. Like, I have to be the one to do it, otherwise I don't know. I'm sure one of my aunts would step up if I died. I mean, it'd be rough if I died. I don't know. Somebody would have to step up to take care of him, but trying to balance that with doing the show, which was really difficult when I was also sick because I can't take time off from taking care of my dad. And it's like the show is almost a second job on top of that. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I don't wish that on anybody, dude. It really sucks to see your parents go through that. But let's get to the news today. Let's get to this Infowars announcement, or the Onion's announcement. Let me pull this up here. I'm a little rusty. It's been a few days. Here we go. So this came out. There's a bunch of people talking about this today. The new logo for Infowars has been revealed. So this is the Onion's new logo for Infowars. As you can see, there's an onion in the zero. Very creative. They really gated up. Very typical. Very typical. I wouldn't expect any less. Yeah, the Onion has successfully landed a deal to take over Alex Jones' site after 17 months of legal issues. Tim Heidecker will serve as the site's creative director. Like, if I needed any more reasons to hate Tim Heidecker. The guy's really he's a real piece of work out here. So yeah, and he put out a message. He's doing his Alex Jones impression. This is Tim Heidecker. And this, I mean, it seems like on the surface, it seems like it's a joke. Like it's like, oh, this is, there's no way this is real. Apparently it's real. And they're really going to do this.
Hey everybody, I got some breaking news for you. It's looking very likely that Global Tetrahedron will seize control of Infowars in the coming days. The folks at Global Tetrahedron have asked me to step in as to run the show over there and become a big part of the future. So we're exploring. Sorry. My name is Tim Heidecker. I'm just here to let you know that I am now in charge of Infowars. It's an honor to take over the reins and chart a new path towards the future. We're looking forward to relaunching the site soon in the next coming months, and we're not really sure what we're going to do with it. We're talking about all sorts of ideas. We were playing around with it being a real estate broker service or a cryptocurrency exchange market, a place to store pictures, almost like a Dropbox account. Not sure. A lot of ideas, but very excited to take this on. And just want to wish everyone, extend a hand of friendship and grace as we proceed through this process. It's not going to be easy, but I can assure you that we have our best intentions in mind. We are in the city of brotherly love, and I want to extend that sentiment to all our friends over there, longtime fans and consumers of the Infowars products. We've got some exciting products coming as well. We're working with a company that will enable you to turn your urine into gold. So stay tuned for more information about that, and stay with us. Stay updated on Infowars for more information as this story develops.
So yeah, when you look at this from a business decision, it's a terrible business decision because Infowars without Alex Jones is like nobody's going to really pay attention. I think at first you're going to get a lot of the left-wingers who are like, oh, we're going to own the Chuds, dude. Yeah, let's own the Chuds. And they're going to go send some money to the Onion's Infowars. They're going to become members and blah, 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 blah. But how long is that going to last, dude? That's not going to last very long. They'll have like an initial spike of interest because like, yo, we're owning the Chuds. And then no one's going to give a fuck. Unless they're like making like hilarious shit that's like super funny that goes massively viral. And you know that's not going to fucking happen with Tim Heidecker. Tim Heidecker, I mean, when's the last thing he made that was really funny that went viral? Probably 20 years ago. I don't know. I was never a huge Tim and Eric fan. A lot of people looked at my edits, my supercuts, and they're like, oh, this is like so Tim and Eric. And I was like, I guess, dude. I guess. But yeah, so this is a dumb business decision, and it just seems so fucking cruel. Like you the opportunity, like if you really cared, right, like about making money for the Sandy Hook victims, like you would have sold it to the highest bidder. Instead, you're just like using it to like kind of try to steal Alex Jones's image and his likeness so that you can do it's so fucking dumb. And it's not gonna I don't know. I just don't see how it works long run.
Nephilim-Death-Squad super chatted $5. Stay strong PING. I lost my stepdad in 2023, 7 years after his stroke. My mom and I cared for him and he died at home. Remember, to suffer is holy.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. It's tough to see it though, man. It's tough to watch it. You know, when you see somebody who you grew up with your whole life who was one way and then that starts to go away, like it's tough to watch, bro. It really is, you know. I guess I don't wish it on anybody, man, but this is a part of life, unfortunately. You know, if you're lucky enough where your parents actually live a long time, this is usually the end result of that. And yeah, dude, it's tough. I don't like to talk about it because it's like if I talk about it, then I'll start talking too much about it, and I don't. Again, it's rough because I want to respect my dad's privacy too. You know, I don't want to be all like, well, this is what we're dealing with every day. It's like I can just say, you know, if you've dealt with it, you know what I'm dealing with. So yeah, so this is we got Alex Jones coming out talking about it as well. Breaking: President Trump is publicly supporting the Democrat Party-backed takeover of Infowars by the Onion. He's saying that because Trump came out and basically talked shit about Alex Jones being bankrupted and losing the lawsuit, and it's like, bro, you should have been fucking standing up for him, and you're rubbing it in. You're rubbing it in to the same people that came after you. Like, what's going on here? And thank you for the $5, Nephilim. Thank you, brother.
So it's Monday evening, and in the last few hours, I saw headlines everywhere, trending top of X, that, well, the Onion is to take over Infowars again and make it a satirical website. They've won it. They own it. A year and a half ago, they announced they owned it. Remember, it was a fraud. There had been no bankruptcy auction. It was all a lie. This time, there's not even been a court hearing. But backed by Bloomberg and the Democrats, Ben Collins, the former MSNBC censorship czar, has just announced that they're moving in May 1st. And it's all through a Texas state judge that ran the show trial a few years ago against me, with HBO, fully produced show trial, that she's just saying it's yours even though it's still on appeal and legally you can't do that.
Yeah, I believe they sold I got a X post about it. They sold the license to use the Infowars name. So even though they haven't successfully taken Infowars from Alex, they can sell licenses to use the Infowars brand? That's weird.
I noticed the receiver that she appointed won't pay the electric bill, won't pay any of the bills, even though he gets the money. There's plenty of money to pay the bills. So they're already like suffocating us. And you see the headline on X and everywhere else that, yep, it's theirs. So if there's any justice, they're going to get in big trouble for this. We're going to file a whole bunch of actions against it. It's just absolutely outrageous that in the year 2026, this type of crap goes on. But President Trump, through Todd Blanche, the Democrat Party lawyer, deputy head of the AG then, now the DOJ head, killed Ed Martin's investigation into their operations, their fake auctions, the DOJ funding the fake lawsuits against me. They have all the documents. They killed that 6 months ago. I didn't blame Trump for that. But I do now blame Trump for coming out and openly endorsing their lawsuits and saying I deserve it, when it was the very same law firms that sued him, Paul Weiss, that are running all of this. That's what represents the Onion turds. So Trump has now openly joined forces with the Democrat Party to shut down Infowars. And it's just beyond disgusting. Absolutely blows me away. But I hope Grok can get it right. I hope everybody reading at the top of X with tens of thousands of posts can understand that when you go watch Ben Collins, the podcast he did today, he goes, I own the studios, we're in control now. Well, they have a hearing about it on the 30th, and we'll be challenging that. They're not even allowed to do that because it's still on appeal. They'll have massive damages against them if it gets overturned, which it will.
I've said it from the very beginning. I don't see how it doesn't get overturned. To me, it's like, dude, this is a clear-cut case, so this is his First Amendment right, and they had to go do all these workarounds to get him guilty. They had to default him because, he didn't provide everything we wanted in discovery. If there's an honest fucking judge that this ever ends up in the docket of, they would definitely overturn this because this is bullshit.
Supreme Court's already signaled that in Texas, but they don't care, folks.
It'd be one thing if it was like one family member actually had a run-in with somebody because of Alex Jones's show, and then they're like, okay, we're going to give you $1 million damages or whatever. Then it'd be like, all right, yeah, okay, whatever. This is like another level of fucking insanity where it's like clearly not really about damages for the family. and it's about just destroying Alex Jones. And it's a whole deep state thing. There's a lot there.
This is the insanity of these people. But regardless, they tried to take my real Alex Jones handle on X. Remember, Elon had to come in and block that because X wouldn't be safe if he didn't. So you'll be able to follow us there at Real Alex Jones on X and at AJN Live and on Rumble, the Alex Jones Show. You'll find out about the new website, the new sites, all of us. As far as I'm concerned, the 30th probably is our last day. We'll continue to fight these people. But they also said they're going to misrepresent and say they're me. They put all these videos with a guy talking like me in the shadows, putting out disinformation. And they say we're going to lie like Alex Jones does for money. So they're going to put out this information and say I'm doing it to confuse the brand and try to ruin what we've done. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire. You little snot-nosed rats, you'll see, because good does exist, and in the end, evil fails. God bless you all. But for the next 9 days, until the 30th, you can still catch me on my daily show right here on X at Real Alex Jones and Infowars.com/show. But when they take it over, it's like a rainbow Infowars with an onion in the middle for the O, that's not me, folks. They don't just silence you with censorship, they then steal your identity. They take your skin. But they're not going to succeed because the American people of the world are awakening. God bless you all.
Yeah, I mean, if they set this precedent that they can do this to anybody now, you say something that pisses off the wrong people, you have the wrong opinion. Because at the end of the day, what did Alex Jones do? Whether you think it's disgusting or not, like the heart of what he did was he questioned an event. Whether he was right or wrong in his questioning, we should have the right to go, wait a minute, something doesn't add up here, and question an event, no matter how terrible the event is. So we don't have freedom of speech if we can't question an event and be like, something doesn't seem right here. Obviously, he was, with hindsight, he was wrong. I mean, I don't want to get back into every little detail about the Sandy Hook shit, but in my opinion, you're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to, and then if there is damages and somebody wants to take you to court and whatever, okay. But this was clearly beyond that. This was clearly a hit job meant to take him out and to silence his voice. And it's not going to work because he's got Alex Jones Network. They're going to move to that. So as soon as Infowars, supposedly the 30th Infowars is supposed to be shut down, and he's just going to keep going because it doesn't matter what the name of the network is. If Alex Jones is on it, everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to move there. Nobody's going to stay at Infowars if Alex Jones is not there. But again, I think at first they're going to have a success. The Onion with their Infowars launch, they're going to have a success story at first because a lot of left wingers are going to support it. But it's not going to last long. Unless they start making amazing content. If they start making amazing content, it's all, who knows? Here's some more from Alex.
Parody of somebody, but none of you took something from them. Right. You've already checked with lawyers, so they're in deep shit. I'm already suing the Democrat. You can do a parody of somebody, but none of you took something from them. Right. You've already checked with lawyers, so they're in deep shit. I'm already suing the Democrat Party law firms. Already got civil rights lawsuits.
Why does he not have a shirt on, Alex? What's going on here?
Look, just because you're wearing my shirt, don't mean you're me.
Uh-oh. Folks, the Onion has stolen the shirt off of Alex Jones's back at this point, and it's a sad thing to see. Are you an employee of the Onion now, Alex?
No, we laugh about this, but a year and a half ago, they announced that they now owned us.
Yep.
And it was all a fraud. This time, they've had a court hearing, and they're announcing.
At Central Washington's super chatted $50.
Thank you for the 50, brother. Much love, dude. Thank you. Very generous. Thank you so much, brother.
They own us. Which shows with this judge that's been super corrupt, the state judge, it's already a done deal. But don't worry, we got a bunch of legal avenues. It'd be one thing if they just shut us down, but they are telling the New York Times, and I've seen more videos, that they're going to misrepresent. Have you played the trailer?
Yeah.
They're going to misrepresent that they're us to confuse people and, quote, rip people off like Alex Jones did. They're going to make money. So the whole thing's about defaming me. You can't take something over and then act like you're somebody, even if you say it's a parody. You can do a parody of somebody, but none of you took something from them. Right. You've already checked with lawyers, so they're in deep shit. I'm already suing the Democrat Party law firms. Already got civil rights lawsuits. So you think, look, just because you're wearing my shirt, don't mean you're me. So let's be 100% clear about that. And so you guys just keep laughing, just like you did a year and a half ago, or it was November 2024. Mm-hmm. So is that about a year and a half?
Yeah, this is a story from December 10th. Sale of Alex Jones Infowars to the Onion rejected, and I'll get into this. And
but yeah, they need to be us to confuse people. By the way, it's a total failure. He goes, we're the 5th biggest newspapers. That's a lie. Newspapers are all dead. Okay.
I looked it up. The Onion gets less than half of the traffic that Infowars gets.
And remember, they said they were going to beat Charlie Kirk. Remember when he died, they said we're going to misrepresent fake quotes of him. This is what the left do. They try to silence you, then they misrepresent who you are. They're body snatchers. They're skinwalkers. They literally take your skin. This is going to backfire big time, folks. Anyways, but hey, you may try to take our skin, you may try to take our clothes, but we're still the real InfoWar. And everybody's going to understand that the InfoWars is a generic term. A website doesn't matter. Everybody's an info warrior. Don't let them convince you of this. It's going to blow up big time in their face.
Did you see the Ben Collins video where he says we're in an information war?
No.
Yeah, it's an old video where he was doing it at the National Press Club, and he says, we're in an information war right now, and the truth is hard to find. So
Harrison's getting pretty popular, too, on X. I've noticed that. Harrison's clips are doing really well.
they've lost the information war, and so they've resorted to lawfare.
And then taking on our skin.
Yeah.
Just because you got a man's coat don't mean you're them.
No, it's ridiculous. And again, yeah, they just do it. They get away with it.
The Paul Weiss law firm ran all this. Trump settled with them. They settled, and now Trump's on their side.
Yep.
So, hey, feel good, guys. You're on Trump's side. You said it was so bad.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly it. They are literally on the bad guy's side. So, yeah, it's going to fail.
Wait, we don't own the AlexJonesStore.com. That's how they back us. That's how they keep us on air. You can't get that.
Yeah, so as you guys know, again, the AlexJonesStore.com, that is the only way that we get funding. If you go there, we stay on air. If you don't, we go away. That's how it works. The Onion cannot make us go away, okay? The lawyers cannot make us go away. The only way we go away is if you don't support us.
And people get confused. It'll be the Alex Jones Network. New news sites. You'll hear about it all soon. All ready to launch. Same people. Harrison, we're going to expand all of it.
Yep, absolutely. And we've been waiting for this, y'all. We have been under a wet blanket of bankruptcy for a long time.
It doesn't hit the same, the Alex shirtless, when he's not as fat.
It's severely restricted what we've been able to do. We're about to explode. We're about to launch, folks. We are on the launch pad. The countdown has begun. May 1st is the date.
I wonder if there's a chance they could be let back on YouTube if they are a new company. Like if it's Alex Jones. Of course not. What am I talking about? They really do need to let him back on, though. Like the ridiculousness of like these forever bans, like it's just un-American, bro. Like there needs to be a time limit on these fucking bans. You can't just be permanently banned forever. Like there's people who have probably murdered somebody around the same time Alex Jones got banned who are already out of jail. But nope, Alex Jones banned forever.
I heard Alex say that on air today. We'll be switching over. So do make sure you're following us on X. Because if you want to know where we go, if they take down the website or whatever, and you're wondering where we are, and you got to do this, because I know people get in the habit. I told the story the other day, but I had a neighbor, and when we got kicked off YouTube in like 2019, he was like, "Yeah, I miss seeing Alex," and I'm like, "Well, we still have Band.video," and his response was just,
"That's what's crazy. It is crazy." But yeah, AJN Live on X, Alex Jones Network. That's what they're gonna move to. So really, I mean, Alex Jones as a media figure is going to be fine, but they've taken so much from him at this point. Like people think he's sitting on all this money and shit. It's like, no, his lifestyle has been drastically reduced because of this shit, dude. And yeah, he's just going to be under it forever unless a judge who gives a fuck about the First Amendment steps up and goes, you can't do this, guys. So yeah, it looks like the Onion takeover of Infowars is a lease for the IP, the intellectual property, website, studio, brand, etc. for $81,000 a month. So for $81,000 a month, they're paying the Sandy Hook families to be able to license the Infowars brand. $81,000 a month for 6 months with an option to renew for another 6 months. So basically, they paid $500,000 to mock and desecrate the corpse a bit, and will move on when they are done. It's weird because they could have sold, like, if this shit wasn't a scam thing, they could have actually sold it to like a big company that would have actually been interested in running Infowars and making money with Infowars by keeping Alex Jones on. But they basically rigged the auction to force it to go to this guy that runs the Onion. It's disgusting, bro. This country is... I mean, this is some disgusting shit. The Onion CEO, Ben Collins, on why he needed to see through the takeover of Infowars from Alex Jones. Yeah, here's the guy. Y'all have heard from this guy before.
Can you describe what it's like to face Alex Jones with the gloves off?
Oh, it sucks, brother. It's not good. They had made a bunch of
threats toward me and like the Onion in general over that month that they were going to come after us for, you know.
Oh, they're going to sue you? So terrible.
Thought crime, whatever. I don't know exactly what
for silencing him. For taking his free speech.
Yes, for taking his free speech.
Yeah, that guy figures, he knows what's up. Yeah, why are they mad at me? I don't know. Oh, why are they mad?
For basically enacting a judgment, several judgments against him by bidding on the company. And a lot of people ask me, like, you know.
Yeah, and were you the highest bid? Isn't it weird how you're in an auction and you're bidding for the company and you're not even the highest bidder and somehow you still win? Is that how auctions work? I thought that's not how auctions work. I thought auctions where people bid and then whoever bids the most, they win the auction. So why you're calling it a bid, but it's really not a bid. It's some sort of behind the scenes fucking deal being worked out here.
The judge, for example, was like, why wouldn't this sell for more? Why wouldn't this go for more?
Yeah, I got to admit, like, that's a pretty good price.
Because they wouldn't let them fucking buy it. That's why, dude. The highest bidder was like backed by Roger Stone. It was a group tied to Roger Stone. They were the highest bidder, and they were going to fucking keep Infowars on, keep Alex Jones on. He was just going to be an employee of the new company that owns it, and they were going to pay Alex a salary, and they were going to try to generate as much money from Infowars as possible. And that a lot of that money would have gone back to paying off Alex Jones's gigantic, ridiculous fucking judgment against him. But they refused that. Weird, right? Weird, because it's not about paying back the families. It's about shutting down Alex Jones and shutting his First Amendment right to actually have a voice.
Yeah, right? And it's because you're not buying Infowars. You're buying Alex Jones's personal harassment campaign for the rest of your life. You are inheriting this thing. You're taking on all of this bullshit forever. Like, we were just talking about strength and how he views strength. How Alex Jones views strength.
Yeah, shirtless on a horse.
Yeah. And what I've realized over the last 18 months is strength is actually sticking through to what you believe and what is the right thing to do.
This guy's such a beta cuck, dude. I don't think this guy believes anything he's saying. He's just like, yeah, I don't like this guy.
For people who would otherwise just abandon it. It's not about showing up on a horse and taking big pills until your voice sounds like this down here. That's not what it is. Or bombing the shit out of countries and yelling at people about it. Or, you know, sending your mass goons into cities and beating the shit out of women and shooting them.
Is that what Alex Jones is doing?
At Leroy.45 long super chatted $5. They can't handle the truth. They can't stop it either. This will only make Alex explode in popularity. Striazad effect engaged biceps.
I agree, Leroy. I agree. This is not going to work. In fact, yeah, this is going to make probably more people rally around Alex to support him. What the fuck is he talking about here?
You know, or bombing the shit out of countries and yelling at people about it.
So Alex Jones is bombing the shit out of country. You realize, like, the entire MAGA movement that's, you know, the cult side of the MAGA movement that will follow Trump to the end of the earth, even if it means, like, walking off a cliff to their own demise. They're completely fucking just unbelievably angry at Alex right now for being against the war. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Or, you know, sending your mass goons into cities and beating the shit out of women and shooting them in the face.
Oh, so you're talking about Trump. Okay. Sorry. We were talking about Trump now. Okay. So yeah, this is not a political thing, guys. This is about justice for the Sandy Hook families. This is not a political hit job meant to take out somebody who has a powerful voice that you want to shut up, right?
That's not strength. That's actually like the opposite. That's insecurity. Strength is knowing that you're going to walk into a bunch of people saying insane shit about you and keep walking.
He's such a powerful guy. Look at this. Listen to this guy. He knows his stuff.
I just think, Pablo, there is a moment in your life where you see a bunch of evil shit happening and you have a chance to stop something that is particularly egregious. And if you walk away from it, I just don't know why you're alive, you know? And I decided, with the help of everybody in my life and family, that, like, I just wasn't going to drop this. And I just didn't want to make it. So our most grievous sin as a country, which is mass shootings of kids in school, where financializing that and getting away with it is.
So Alex Jones is responsible for a bunch of kids being shot, and he's financially gaining from the kids being shot? What? It is like they're trying to replace that Dylan Roof motherfucker. It's like, we don't hear about him. Forget about the guy who actually did it. It's all Alex Jones's fault.
Fine. If we can't draw a line there.
Because he entertained some conspiracies on the internet, bro. This is so fucking ridiculous. If this guy gave a fuck about anything, he would be going, oh, this isn't right. We're actually taking away. I don't agree with what the guy's saying, but we're taking away his First Amendment right. We're trying to destroy him for like the rest of his life, so he's financially underwater. This isn't right. But no. Of course, that's not the side he's going to take. He's going to take the side where, like, oh, basically Alex Jones is responsible for all the suffering of the Sandy Hook families. Okay.
And there is no line anymore. You can just do whatever you want, whatever evil shit you want, and make as much money you want. Friends of mine were like, wasn't it cool that time you like, you hip checked Alex Jones and like, and I was like, no, dude, we're still going for it. And they'd be like, yeah, that's cute, man. It's nice that you're doing that. Everyone had just given up on the premise. And
isn't there little fucking bubbles, dude? These are little liberal bubbles. Everybody's gonna fucking suck their dick. Like, oh, you're so great. You're taking on Alex Jones. He's the most evil, dangerous man in the world. Yeah, okay, dude. Okay. What else we got here? 580,000. Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about this. This shit is a little weird because it does feel like, from the outside looking in, like there is some sort of market manipulation going on here where Trump keeps making these wild fucking claims that turn out in the long run to be just that. They're just fucking claims that he's making on Truth Social that have no connection to reality. And they're wildly moving the markets. And there's always these huge bets right before he makes the announcement. Ginormous bets that are unusual where like somebody seems to know something. And this keeps happening over and over and over again. And it's getting really suspicious. A lot of people are thinking it's Barron Trump. Who the fuck knows? But something's going on here.
Traders are making millions after Donald Trump makes a major announcement. Now there are questions.
Wait, let me just wrap it up. Alex Jones Network, he's going to survive. Again, I support Alex in this. Like, okay, that doesn't mean I co-sign everything he's ever said in his entire fucking life. But what he's going through, this is a travesty of justice, and fuck these people. Anyway.
Is this insider trading? The BBC's found a pattern of spikes in trades just before Donald Trump says something that moves the financial markets. For example, 9 days into the war with Iran, Trump said in an interview that the war was pretty much complete and oil plunged. The first time the public would have known about that was 3:16 p.m. US Eastern Time. But market data shows a surge in trades 47 minutes earlier. Another case involves the online predictions platform Polymarket, in which the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., is an investor. One account made nearly $500,000 by correctly predicting the removal of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro the day before he was seized.
Yeah, something's up here, bro. And it might just be a simple thing of like somebody's just leaking to somebody and then it's leaking to somebody else and somebody's taking advantage and it's like, it's shady as fuck, though.
The account changed its username and hasn't placed any more bets since. These activities
have... apparently, like, they know who's making the trades, right? Because you have to give your information, so... I don't know. I like to find out who the fuck is always just happens to know that Trump's about to make some massive announcement that's going to move the markets in one way or the other, and they just know. They just take advantage. I'd like to know. I'd like to see it investigated.
I've raised suspicions of illegal insider trading using information that isn't available to the general public. Polymarket told the BBC that it proactively works with regulators and law enforcement to ensure market integrity. There are also people that say that some traders are simply getting good at guessing when the president is going to say something significant. Donald Trump Jr. didn't respond to a BBC request for comment, nor did the White House, though it's strenuously denied allegations of insider trading in the past.
mean, there is a possibility you could figure it out after he's done the same thing multiple times. It's like, oh, Friday, if it's Friday, he's going to be talking up a war. And then on Monday, we're so close to a peace deal, guys. It's like there has been a trend here that he's continuously followed to try to keep the markets calm. And for some reason, people still listen as if like he's not just playing a weird game. As Trump's popularity slips in polls, Howard Lutnick remains the sitting Commerce Secretary who deliberately sabotaged Trump's tariffs. That's another one. The tariffs. That's a sad story, isn't it? Oh boy. And the thing too is like he's so fucked up the way he used the tariffs. Like the tariffs, you have to use them like surgically. You got to be like, okay, we got to start getting our side of the production up. So we want to like tariff steel or whatever. Okay, we got to get these companies going, ramping up so that they're ready to produce. And then you hit the tariffs in so that those companies can actually fucking compete. But you got to have that production ready to go before you just start tariffing. But he was just like, tariffs on everything. And it seemed like his strategy was to use tariffs as a negotiating tactic rather than as a tactic to actually bring jobs back to this fucking country and bring back our own domestic production. It was a terrible strategy, and then the Supreme Court's overturning it. And now, after the actual Americans, the American people have had to pay increased prices because of these tariffs, now those companies that increased their prices, I've heard some of them didn't, okay, whatever, they're going to get refunded. Do we get refunded for paying higher costs? No, the American people don't get refunded. But those companies that had to pay higher costs because of tariffs, they're all going to get refunded. So again, a complete fucking disaster. I'm not against tariffs, but you have to use them correctly. Okay? He did not use them correctly. He just blanket tariffs on fucking everything, on entire countries and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's about bringing back our production, right? So, okay, first you got to probably subsidize companies to get ready to go, to be able to produce what you want them to produce. And then when they're ready, then you throw on the tariffs and you go, okay, now, we can compete and we can make sure our companies can compete in this global market. But yeah, it just was so fucking dumb the way he did it. So dumb.
Record insider trading, always right before Trump makes an announcement, they know when. And remember what Lutnick did? Remember the put options with Buzzy Krongard and the CIA? That was Lutnick and his company. They got hit on 9/11, but he wasn't there. Record put options on United and American. But he wasn't at work that day. He was back at the house next door to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey was in building 9. He was right next door, building 11. Yeah, they kind of like to throw it in your face, don't they?
So can we just not, anybody that lived within like 100-mile radius of Epstein, I mean, especially if you're his next door neighbor, you probably shouldn't be in office. There's also heard a report that Lutnick, I don't really understand this, but somehow Lutnick bought the insurance to the tariffs. So if the tariffs were refunded, he would make a ton of fucking money. It's almost like this whole fucking MAGA shit with Trump was all just a grift to fucking rip money off, to just steal money. What it feels like to me.
Modern neocon MAGA, Trump's former enemies, literally coming out and saying those of us that are trying to get Trump to stop these disastrous policies for the economy and world peace and for the midterms, we're the traitors. And I see this sophomoric thing constantly where they go, oh, you're kicked off the Trump train. Trump fired you. Ha, you're not in the cool club anymore. What does that even mean? I like Trump because he was better than Democrats. Could care less about Trump liking me or being in some cool club.
That's what it's about, though. It's a lot of these people that are ladder climbers, like the PBDs of the world, they don't actually care about America first, actually solving the problems of our citizens who are suffering at levels never seen in recent history. And it's barely even talked about. The media doesn't even talk about it. They just gaslight you into like how great things are while everybody's sitting here going, fuck, I'm hanging on by a thin fucking thread here, just trying to not fucking be completely financially underwater. But Does our government, when we elect them to do something about it, do they? No, they don't. But we're terrible. We're terrible because we're just supposed to just be like, yes, sir, whatever you say, sir, as he completely sells out the fucking agenda that we voted for. So, but yeah, I guess we're not on the cool kids club, huh? We're in the club of like, hey, we actually want to fix the fucking problems in this country. Put me in that club. That's the club I belong to.
Everything he does is pure genius. We're all supposed to worship it and act like sycophantic idiots. I mean, that's how the Democrats would act when they would say that Joe Biden's, this is the best Joe Biden. He's as smart as he's ever been. He's a total genius. You know, 2 men can have a baby. All of this cult-like garbage is the reason I've hated the Democrats so much.
I forgot to pull this up earlier. This is the Onion's new website, the new Infowars. It's still the onion.info. So clearly they don't own the Infowars website yet. They just have the license to use the name and likeness, to use their intellectual property. So yeah, this is the Onion's Infowars site. At long last, Infowars is ours. And yeah, they're like trying to get people to sign up on membership. There was an ad, I guess it was an ad I saw where like they want people to pay $99 a month to become a part of this website or whatever. I don't know, man. This shit is it's going to be a complete fucking failure. But I guarantee you, at first they'll get a bunch of left-wingers who are like, we're going to own the chuds, and they're going to spend a bunch of money on it, and they're going to act like it's a huge success, and then, you know, a year later it'll be gone and nobody will even remember. Yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. Let's get back to this.
But here's the good news, and it's the bad news. Very paradoxical. 80+%, and that's Rasmussen and other very scientific polls, of independents that voted Republican.
Jay Sledge says, PBD exposed Tucker for being registered agent for Oman. How did he expose him of being a registered? I saw we're going to get to the PBD Tucker Carlson stuff. That's the last part of the show. But what are you talking about? How did he expose it? He basically made accusations and said he challenged him to for both of them to basically allow their finances to be audited so they could both prove that they're not taking any foreign money. Yeah, dude. If that's what you're talking about, that's not exposing them. That's just making accusations.
Are now voting Democrat or for another party. Trump swept independents. Under 45 men, he's lost over 40% of them. Unprecedented. Trump's overall approval rating of how he's handling things, 33, the lowest ever, down from 56. So the good news is it's a minority of Republicans that actually buy this garbage and love Mark Levin being the shadow president and the real president being Benjamin Netanyahu and the press secretary being Ben Shapiro. But paradoxically, okay, good, Republicans aren't in a cult. We don't follow leadership when it's doing bad things. We have moral integrity. We supported Trump because he was the vessel that was doing what he was supposed to, a tool. But paradoxically, the fact that it is so unpopular, that's why they're going to lose the midterms. And it's self-inflicted wound. Trump cannot be this stupid. They have been telling him for months this is happening.
That's some sort of picture, isn't it? That's some creepy shit, dude. Mark Levin's looking at him like he's like Trump's his lunch, bro.
And he just doesn't care and tells them to shut up. I want to talk about other things. I don't agree with Nick Fuentes on, well, let's just vote Democrat to punish the Republicans. Most of the Republicans are good people, especially at the state level. The majority are good people in Congress, but it's the leadership that's controlled. We know that. And I don't think we should throw the baby out with the bathwater. We should check each candidate, support the people that are, incumbents that are good, primary those that aren't, get more engaged. Look how far we came exposing globalism. Look how far we came with a better Trump before getting so much done. Where would we be if the Democrats had been in the last 8 years, 10 years?
I don't know. Sounds a little bit like Cope to me. I'm not for just like we have to vote for Democrats. I'm for just based it on the candidate, like candidate by candidate basis. If there's a good, somehow, some magic way, some Democrat comes out that ends up with an America First policy, who's old school Democrat, yeah, that I'd be open to that. But I'm not just going to vote Democrat like Nick Fuentes wants just to piss everybody else off. I don't know. But I'm also not just going to vote Republican either. If there's some good candidates that come up and they have policies that I can get down with and they actually are addressing the suffering of the American people, or claim to want to address that. Maybe, I don't know.
The whole time. Look at how the globalist system is so exposed and is getting so much resistance. We've changed the whole ballgame. When it comes to hearts and minds, we're now the majority know the truth. They got polls out, 80+% of people don't trust the COVID shots, and they only got a few thousand people take the new one. I mean, this is night and day. We cannot get in our minds that Trump was the change and that Trump was everything, and that, because even if he was true and good, he's 79, about to be 80, he'll be gone soon. So it's healthy to move on from Trump. And again, I don't care if you call yourself a liberal or conservative, whatever it is. Do you really want to live under a robot-controlled cashless society grid? Do you really want a social credit score? Do you really want a universal basic income? Do you really want this future they say they're building that's obsolete for humans? They just declassified that the CIA created Lyme's disease at Plum Island off New York with Nazi scientists in the 1950s and purposely released the text. I told you that 30 years ago with scientists. We already had documents. Now it's totally confirmed. Remember Howard Lutnick? Turned out his son's company he signed over to him when he went into office bought up all of anybody that would sell of the insurance.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Counter Fitzgerald, all of the insurance on companies that had insurance on tariffs, that if the tariffs got reversed, they would get paid back for the cost. And they bought it about 25% on the dollar. Lutnick said, no, this will never be overturned. They believed it, so they sold it to him for 25 cents on the dollar on average. And then Lutnick, even the Supreme Court justice admitted, wrote the tariff wrong. Of course, it sent Trump a letter saying,
holy shit, I didn't hear this part, bro. This is so... Look, if this is true, this is some shady shit, bro.
This has been changed. It was constitutional, but the way the executive orders and things were written, this is the problem. Lutnick knew that. Lutnick sabotaged the tariffs, and now he's going to get tens of billions of dollars.
I still have people that believe they're going to get their 2000 tariff dividend check or whatever in the mail. I tried to tell people a long time ago, I was like, this is, you should not be wanting that in the first place. What you should want is Trump to actually stick by all the shit he talked about doing, like getting rid of income taxes. Because when he talks about, like, do you want this new robot world where you live in the fucking, the pod and you eat the bugs? And it's like, I don't know, this kind of what I'm living in now, where it's like, oh, I get raped in the ass every fucking year for the sin of making barely making a living. I get raped in the fucking ass every year. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll take the pod if you stop raping me in the ass every fucking April, dude.
At Leroy.45 long super chatted $2. Flynn Jones 2028.
Flynn Jones, yeah. I mean, I'm down for Alex Jones running for president. I'm down for that, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, I have so little hope of anything ever being addressed at this point. I feel like this country's pretty cooked. You know, hopefully I'm wrong. You know, I don't feel like I'm blackpilled. I think at this point I'm just kind of being honest, bro. Like, it's going to take a diamond in the rough to go in there and actually fix things, because that's not what we get. That's not the options we get for people to run this country. It's either this crook or that crook, you know? Pick your best crook, right? Who's your favorite crook? Who's your favorite pedophile, as Tim Dillon said? We got to vote for our favorite pedophile. But yeah, I don't want to be too black-pilled about it, man. You know, hopefully some hero will rise, and maybe it's Alex Jones. In this world, yeah, Alex Jones 2028. Bring it on.
Trump administration to begin refunding $166 billion in tariffs. We got more articles about record.
And I saw people reading that article about the tariff refunds, and they literally thought they were talking about like the American people getting a refund for the tariffs they paid. It's like, oh no, sweetheart, you're not getting shit. It's the companies that charged you way more because of the tariffs are now also, on top of charging you more, going to get a refund for those tariffs. While you, Miss America Pie, you get fucked in the ass. Because it's always the citizens. We're the ones, we just constantly get screwed. We just, you know, slowly and surely, you know, just becoming a complete slave to the government. The government's not here to serve us. We're here to serve the government. And that's the new world we're in. So yeah, even Marjorie Taylor Greene's mentioning the trades. Who keeps making these trades? This needs to be an investigation. Is this the best time trade of 2026? Yesterday, 8:24 a.m., oil traders bought nearly 800 million worth of oil shorts. You can see right here this giant spike in volume. They just, here's the normal volume, and then boom. Oh, right before the announcement, where the Iran's foreign minister says Strait of Hormuz is completely open, which was actually turned out to not be true, turned out to be bullshit. And yeah, they just shorted it right at the right time. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, dude. I'm sure there's no funny business here. 166 billion in tariffs is being refunded today, but none of it goes back to consumers who paid for it. Every single dollar goes to companies. Consumers paid higher prices on groceries, electronics, clothing, and everything else for over a year because of these tariffs. And did we achieve what we're supposed to achieve? So remember, the reason, like my logic behind, okay, tariffs are not that bad of an idea if you're going to use it as a tool to make it so we can compete and we can actually produce things and not be completely just destroyed by other companies that can undercut us. If you use it strategically as a tool, it can be useful. But that's not what he did. He fucking just used it as a negotiating tactic and then promised people we're gonna send you all of this free money because we're so rich now because of tariffs that we now have to refund it. Jesus, it's such a fucking disaster. And then you got these MAGA types that are so delusional. They literally think they go every day. They're acting like they won some victory against us. They're like, oh, these idiots, all these Trump panicans. They turn out to be wrong. It's like, what do you mean? How are we wrong? Because Trump made some other bullshit post that you're now falling for again, that all the war is over and the strait's open and all this, because they're manipulating the price of oil to get it low before it fucking explodes again. You guys are it's sad to see the MAGA types that are so delusional right now. They're just living in their own fucking world. And it's really sad because I thought we were better than that. The Supreme Court ruled the tariffs were illegal in February. Now the government is refunding the money. But the refund only goes to the importer of record, the company that paid the tariff at the border, not the retailer who paid higher wholesale prices or the consumer who paid the final inflated price at checkout. Isn't that wonderful? NPR asked legal experts directly whether consumers will see any of this money. The answer was no. 330,000 importers are eligible, 53 million shipments, and 127 billion already processed. The portal went live this morning at 8 a.m. Some Democrat lawmakers called for direct refunds to households, but that is not happening. No. What's happening is the IRS is going to come for you and go, oh, you got money in your savings account? You got to give us that. Oh, yeah, I know you could use that to like actually spend it in the economy and help the economy and maybe go out to eat and maybe buy clothes and help local retailers, or maybe you invest in a business and you start. No. Give it to us. Give us all your money in your savings account, fucker. You're a slave. You're a slave. You don't get to work and earn a living. What are you talking about? Give me everything you have in your savings. That's what you get. According to retired CIA analyst Larry Johnson, during an emergency meeting on Saturday, Trump tried to use the nuclear codes on Iran, and he was stopped by General Dan Kane. According to Johnson, there is seriously something wrong with Trump. Obviously, the panicans, or not the panicans, sorry. We're the panicans. The Trump cultists will say this is all bullshit. I don't know if it's true, but it's a pretty interesting story.
They recognize they've got some problems. They got to try to deal with it. And then there was a report.
This is on Judge Andrew Napolitano. Wasn't this guy like pretty hardcore respected among the right not too long ago?
Report out that they had an emergency meeting Saturday night. And apparently, well, one report coming out of that meeting at the White House is that Trump wanted to use the nuclear codes, and General Dan Kane stood up and said no. He invoked his privilege as the head of the military, so to speak.
I'll be honest, this is kind of hard to believe, but then when you think about like how insane Trump has been behaving, is it that out of the realm of possibility? I don't know.
It was apparently quite a blow up. There are pictures of Kane coming out of that meeting with his head down to the ground. So, you know, there's some very, very bizarre things going on in D.C.
Well, on Saturday night, excuse me, Larry, Trump.
They recognize they've got some problems and got to try to deal with it. And then there was a report.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Trump wanted to use that as a negotiating tactic because nothing else is working. The reality is we've not put Iran into a situation where they're going to surrender, you know, everything they want for peace. We haven't put them in that situation. So Trump is, I think he's living in this world where, like, if I just say crazy shit on the internet, maybe I'll scare them enough. It's really is like crashing out, just grasping for any victory you can. And then it's like, oh, if there are no victories, we'll just declare victory on the internet. And then all the MAGA types will be like, oh, see, this is so great. This is so great. It's really sad. Really sad to see how what's become of this this movement. Justin, IRGC Navy called Iran's own foreign minister an idiot over open maritime radio. Now, this guy, there's a little quote here. What do they call these things? Adding more context or whatever. The idiot reference in the audio is a reference to Donald Trump. The tweets mentioned are his social media posts about opening the strait. I don't know, because there was a guy from Iran who claimed the straits were open, so I don't know. But this is interesting.
In Persian Gulf and Oman Sea, this is Iranian Sepa Navy calling you on channel 16. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. We will open it by the order of our leader Imam Khamenei, not by the tweets of some idiot. If you want to pass through the strait, you must ask permission from Iranian Sepa Navy. All vessels that have a connection with our enemies will be targeted if they try to pass the Strait of Hormuz out.
Do you know how many times, like in this last period of time where I wasn't doing a show, where they try to claim the strait was open? It'd be like, the strait's open, we're making it. I mean, there's even a point where Trump came out and he's like, we're getting along really well with the Iranians, guys. We're getting along really well. There's nothing but lies coming out about this shit from our side. And I mean, look, I'm not saying they're not lying too, but our side is just completely making shit up. Here's an Indian oil tanker where they were getting attacked by Iran. And then he calls in. This one's actually, I don't know why, but this one kind of makes me laugh a little bit.
Sepa Navy. This is Motoranga Sanmar Header. You gave me clearance to go.
Fuck you, motherfucker, fuck you.
My name second on your list. You gave me clearance to go. You are fighting now. Let me turn back. Sepa Navy.
I don't know. I love Indians. They make me happy. But yeah, don't fuck with the Indians. I mean, yeah, okay, we'll see. Yeah, Rogan was at the Oval Office. Look, okay, I'll give Trump something. This is a W here. Apparently, all it took was one little message from Joe Rogan, and Trump was like, "Okay, we'll sign off on it. We'll get it." So yeah, they're gonna approve what's called ibogaine or whatever. It's like a psychedelic that they're giving to our vets with PTSD that seems to be helping a lot. I think it's essentially just microdosing is what it sounds like. It's like just microdosing. And I'll be honest, dude, I'm ready. Like, if I'm going to have to live as a fucking slave in poverty to the government, then yeah, give me the psychedelic microdoses, dude. Just make me happy. Just give me a drug. I don't care if it makes me a little dumber. I'll lose like 15 IQ points to just give me a pill that makes me happy. Because if you're going to turn me into a fucking slave and make it to where, like, you know, the American dream doesn't exist for me, and I just have to subside with whatever little tidbits of bullshit the government gives me, then yeah, give me a happy pill, bro. Just give me a happy pill. Let's get this shit over with.
I want to say that I'm here because of the man to my left. Brian Hubbard and former Texas Governor Rick Perry came on my podcast. They told me how impactful this medicine is, and having that conversation with them, millions of people got a chance to hear their story.
Ibogaine isn't recreational, Ping. Ibogaine is scary. Ibogaine is not microdosing. Yeah, I don't know, dude. If they're talking about psychedelics and then ibogaine, then like, what does it have to do with psychedelics if it's not like a microdose? A microdose shrooms for a few weeks, years ago, it was very helpful. Yeah, I don't know, man. I do know that I think part of why they're trying to make THCA illegal in Texas is because a lot of veterans are getting help from THCA for sleeping. Some people say they claim it helps their PTSD, but the pharmaceutical companies would rather them get a prescription for some shit like ibogaine. So I think that also has something to do with them trying to fuck with legalized THCA, CBD, hemp derived weed products, whatever the fuck it's called.
Hear the stories of all the different people that have had.
What is ibogaine though? I mean, what is it then? If it's not, I mean, if it has nothing to do with microdosing, but then why is it tied in with psychedelics? Because I would like to be on some psychedelics. Just give me some microdose. I just want to be happy, bro. That's all.
Life-changing experiences from it.
And I don't want to take antidepressants, dude. Just let me take some actual real drugs that make you happy. There's plenty of drugs out there that will make you happy. Just let me take that. Just enough just to be happy without being all strung out and shit.
And I want Brian to be able to speak about this.
Good. Brian, please.
Thank you, sir.
I heard that show. You have no trouble speaking. He's got no trouble speaking.
I want to assure you that my presence here is the most concrete affirmation that God has a wonderful sense of humor.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Federal prohibition of psychedelic medicine in America is over.
So that's what they're talking. That's why I'm thinking it's like microdosing or something. Because I'd like to be able to legally microdose. Dude.
On the 250th year. On the 250th year of our nation's founding, everyone who has fought.
So I'm looking up ibogaine. Ibogaine is a naturally occurring psychoactive compound found in the root bark of the West African shrub, known for its potential to interrupt severe drug addictions and treat PTSD. While used traditionally in spiritual ceremonies, it is now studied for its ability to reduce addiction withdrawal symptoms and cravings, though it carries significant, potentially fatal risks like heart issues. Can we just legalize like shrooms? Because I think shrooms does all that too, doesn't it? Don't people get those same benefits from like microdosing shrooms? Can we just... Why do we always got to invent some new fucking pharmaceutical drug so that they can own the patent and make a ton of money? The shrooms already exist. You can just grow them. Everybody can just grow them. But no, we can't legalize that, right? Because then, there's no grift there, huh?
For this day, through decades of monumental struggle, sacrifice, and suffering, can now declare a seminal victory for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Rights we bear as images of our eternal Creator, whose essence is almighty, eternal, unconditional love for each and every one of us. This is the end of the beginning. We have moved mountains, yet there are mountains to move. Government systems which have relentlessly suppressed psychedelics are the same systems which will now manage their emergence. We dare not let our guard down for 1 second and be hair trigger ready to impose accountability for incompetence, obstruction, or failure. Credit belongs where credit is due. With this executive order, President Trump has delivered an epic victory for all humanity. I thank him for having the courage to make this happen, and my mission brother, Joe Rogan, for having the spine to make the ask. To our brothers and sisters in Gabon, you have our deepest gratitude for your stewardship of the sacred tree grown for the healing of nations. I will do my best to deliver the respect and honor you deserve for helping heal this nation. It is my joy to deliver these good tidings unto the meek, which will hopefully bind up the brokenhearted, proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to all who are bound. God bless you And God bless America.
Thank you.
Someone said something about psychedelics, or maybe it was mushrooms not helping with opioid addiction. I don't know. I've just read a lot of people, I think with ayahuasca, like they were able to, like, I mean, I'm guessing it's the level of addiction makes a difference, but I've heard people with ayahuasca have had a lot of success, or some success, dealing with addiction after doing ayahuasca.
I want to tell everybody how this happened. I sent President Trump some information. We have a gigantic opiate problem in this country, obviously. In 2024, more than 80,000 people died of overdoses. It's a horrible number. And there's more than 5 million people that are addicted to opiates right now in this country. With one dose of Ibogaine, more than 80% of people are free of that addiction. With 2 doses, it's more than 90%. I sent him that information. The text message came back, sounds great. Do you want FDA approval? Let's do it. It was literally that quick.
Why don't you ask him to end the Iran war too, Joe, while you're at it? Please, ask him that one.
These drugs are illegal not because they're harmful. They're illegal because of the 1970 Controlled Substances Act that was passed by the Richard Nixon administration. They did it to target the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement. It's not because these drugs harm people. And for 56 years, we've lived under those terrible conditions. We're free of that now. We're free of that now. Thanks to all these people that you see next to me, and thanks to President Trump.
Did President Trump sign an executive order directing the FDA to fast-track the review and research of psychedelic drugs, specifically Ibogaine, psilocybin, and LSD? Okay. As breakthrough therapies for treating mental health conditions like PTSD, depression, and addiction. See, here's the thing. I wonder if microdosing a little psilocybin every day might be more beneficial to people suffering from depression versus these antidepressants, which seem to be a real problem for some people. Some people, they work great, but other people, it ends up being a real problem. So I don't know, I'll give Trump a W on that one. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it happen. Here's Trump talking about it.
Ibogaine, because it's so important, and experienced an 80 to 90% reduction in symptoms of depression and anxiety within 1 month. Can I have some, please? I'll take some. I'll take whatever it takes. I don't have time to be.
I don't know, maybe we should get Trump on some fucking psychedelics, bro. Whatever it takes. By the way, I broke my mic arm, so it's totally fucked now. There used to be a little piece in here it would go into so I could articulate. Now at least it still holds, so I can use it, but I got to get a new mic arm. One thing after another. But yeah, I think, at this point, let's try it all. Let's get Trump stoned. Let's get him smoking some weed, get him some reefer, let's get him some fucking shrooms, and if that doesn't work, we'll go have him and Joe sit down and smoke some DMT. If that doesn't work, we'll send him to do an ayahuasca ceremony. And whatever, dude, let's go. Whatever it takes to get this war over with, by the way. I'm just so sick of this fucking war. And it's nice you listen to Trump, to Rogan so quickly, Joe. So maybe, Rogan, you can send him a text that says, hey, do you think you could, end this war? Do you think we could just go, okay, whatever, this didn't work out well, let's just move on. Oop, forget that ever happened. Let's move on to dealing with the domestic policy and the domestic agenda that we voted for. That'd be nice. Hannity apparently is leaving the Catholic Church over Trump's war with the Pope over the Iran war.
I do want to shift gears with a message
this is ridiculous.
The Vatican tonight, specifically to Pope Leo, who has openly condemned America's war in Iran while seemingly enjoying a public fight with President Trump. First, let me give some context. Like millions of Americans, I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I even attended a seminary in high school, studied theology, Latin, went to Mass daily. But as of today, I no longer consider myself a Catholic. Where are the pointed words?
Bro, because the Pope is against a war. You expect the Pope to be for a war? First of all, I'm not a huge fan of this Pope. I think the popes have been pretty blah for a while. I was raised Catholic too. I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore. But this is a little ridiculous, bro. Because because the Pope is against war, you're gonna stop being a Catholic. Who the fuck would expect the Pope to be like, yeah, let's keep bombing people? Yeah. I think it's great when we bomb children and we fucking go to war. What do you expect from the fucking Pope, bro?
For Iran, this evil regime, the #1 state sponsor of terror, the people that murdered 45,000 innocent protesters, not a peep from Pope Leo. Iran is now set to, literally have 4 more protesters and hang them and kill them, including a woman. Nothing from Pope Leo. Iran oppresses women. Nothing from Pope Leo. Tortures them, rapes them, kills them. Nothing from the Pope.
This is, dude, again, this is all the Iraq shit. This is just, they're so bad, so we can do whatever we want. We can drop bombs on their head. We can ignore their sovereignty. Because they did some terrible things. I don't give a fuck, bro. We need to not be fucking around with these foreign wars, bro. Like what we voted for,
Iran backs terrorists in Iraq and Beirut who have killed Americans for decades. Nothing from Pope Leo. Iran drops bombs on holy sites and neighborhoods all over Israel, densely populated areas like Tel Aviv, and Pope Leo has not bothered to call them out by name. And while the Pope condemns all nuclear weapons, especially on the anniversary of Hiroshima, I don't think we had a choice. Same with Nagasaki. It did end a war, did save a lot of American lives. He doesn't seem interested in ever referencing Iran's unrelenting pursuit of them. And I have a question for the Pope. Is it the right or wrong thing to prevent radical mullahs in Iran, again, the #1 state sponsor of terror, from ever having nuclear weapons? Today, President Trump raised this very important question. Take a look.
Well, I want him to preach the gospel. I'm all about the gospel. But I also know that you cannot let a certain country, which is a very mean-spirited country, have a nuclear weapon. If they did, they would use it.
It's such bullshit fear-mongering, bro. It's all this is. The same fear-mongering from the Iraq war, the weapons of mass destruction. Oh, do you realize? I remember the big one that got me too was like, he's using chemical weapons on his own people. We've got to do something. Don't you care about the Iraqis? They're getting chemical weapons shot. But it's like, oh, dude. Of course I fell for that. I was in my 20s and I was like, that's fucking terrible. We got to do something. But you get older and you start to realize, they're fear-mongering. They're trying to justify their fucking warmongering by just demonizing a country, which, of course, that country's not perfect. Neither is ours. No country's perfect. But at the end of the day, does this help America? Explain to me how this helps America. Oh, because they're gonna nuke everybody. They're gonna destroy the whole world. Okay, dude, whatever. I'm so over this shit. I really am. I'm so over it. The frustrating part isn't that they're doing it. It's that people are falling for it again. That's the most frustrating part. By the way, Trump is also attacking Alex Jones again. Let me put on this one. This is it's easy. Tucker is a low IQ person. We know Tucker's not low IQ, okay? You say what you want about Tucker. He's not low IQ. Always easy to beat and highly overrated. So are Megyn Kelly, Candace, really dumb and mentally ill. And bankrupt Alex Jones. Oh, he just rubs it in, dude. Just rubs it in. And bankrupt Alex Jones, who is completely fried. There are others also. Then we have some very good true MAGA all the way and smart. Yeah, just be my little bitch. Forget all the promises I made. Forget that I betrayed everything I ran on. And just, be my bitch. And then you're smart. If you're my bitch, you're my little bitch that has no backbone and is unwilling to stand up for the things that matter, then you're a smart person. You're the smart one. So, of course, Alex had to respond.
For the second time in a week and a half, President Trump has come out and viciously attacked myself and other prominent people that have warned about the Iran war being a total disaster, which has been proven to be. He calls me a low IQ loser and all the rest of this stuff. A week and a half ago, now I'm fired.
And no, Buddhist priest, I don't think Here's the thing with Candace, okay? I don't really want to... People are like, you should apologize to Candace. What do I have to apologize for? What was I wrong about? What was I wrong about? What happened to the Egyptian planes, the beige T-shirts, the French hit squad? Like, clearly, Candace is, I'm not even going to try to explain what's going on there. To me, it just seems like grifting, off the Charlie Kirk assassination for views and money. But who knows? Who knows what's really going on there? But am I going to keep attacking her when she's now, to me, on the right side of this issue, which is the Iran war? No. I'm not going to apologize. And I would apologize if you can point to any of my criticisms of Candace Owens that were wrong. Okay? Maybe I'm a little bombastic. I call her a retard, shit like that. That's just me, being over the top or whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, a lot of the shit I criticized her about was legitimate criticisms that still stand. So no, I will not be apologizing for covering the shit she was talking about in an honest and genuine way.
And he endorses the Democrat Party lawfare against me that the CIA and DOJ ran publicly, and that the same groups that targeted him ran the Paul Weiss law firm that did a $40 million settlement with him last year and admitted to criminal activity. So he's now siding with the actual criminals. But let's talk about the bigger issue first here. Trump had a 56 approval rating 8 months ago.
Yeah, and Alex Jones did kind of apologize to Candace, which I don't think he needed to apologize to Candace. If you're you got to remember the things that we were calling her out for. Okay? You just want to forget about the Egyptian planes. You want to forget about all the weird, every day it was some new crazy conspiracy. And it's that's the shit we were talking about. Okay? And I'm not going to. But Alex apologized, whatever, it's his prerogative.
Bush was roaring and Elon was there and all the rest of it. Now he's got a 33. He's lost 80% of his support in independence. The Republicans are going to lose the midterms massively coming up in just 7 months. And even Susie Wiles has told him that and told the press all that this needs to stop. But he doesn't care.
And the MAGA supporters who are so afraid of the left, you realize this is going to, what Trump is doing is destroying the ability for the coalition that's going to protect you from the left to actually maintain power. But yet you're going to cheerlead it all the way to the bank as the Democrats take back power and then, start doing things like they did to Alex Jones to all of us. Start censoring the fuck out of everybody. I hope you guys are ready for that. I mean, I'm probably going to get fucked.
He is committing political suicide.
But what's new?
For our own movement. And he's turning against all the major pillars of the movement, blocking RFK Jr., trying to get rid of the poison shots all of a sudden, giving total liability protection to deadly glyphosate, Roundup. It goes on and on. So I don't support this new Trump. But this isn't about his attack on me. It's about the craziness of this when, even on his own Truth Social and in polls, it is wildly unpopular. And he has all these neocon sycophants that were his enemies and never Trumpers praising him and saying how great he is and that we all need to be arrested because we work for Qatar. Well, I sure as hell don't. So here's where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's what we're going to get to next is PBD, which to me is very fucking disgusting what PBD did to Tucker, because rather than addressing Tucker's actual issues and trying to like in a good faith way go, okay, really what Tucker's upset about is the Iran war, it's the betrayal of the America First agenda, et cetera, et cetera. The whole thing is just basically prove to me you're not taking money from Qatar or Oman or whatever. We'll get to that. I think it's disgusting the way PBD responded.
We are at a crossroads, and Trump is committing political suicide. Use the Japanese term, seppuku. No one who has any brain cells can deny that fact. And as I said when this war started back on March 1st, it came out 5 days before, that the intelligence agencies in the Pentagon gave him a report saying 92% chance this fails. Israel's lying to you. Iran's not about to attack us with a nuclear weapon. But he went with Netanyahu's lies and his Mossad chief's lies, who said the war could be won in 4 days and then Iran would fall. Now here we are into this almost a month and a half or more.
And MAGA is still claiming victory every day. They're claiming victory. It's dude, this was supposed to be over. Every time Trump comes out and said it's over, there's a peace deal. Every fucking week, it's there's a new peace deal. Oh, we're going to make peace. And then it turns out that's all bullshit. But then every week, you guys keep acting like you were right all along. It's so dumb.
We've been proven right. I'm a loyal American. I supported MAGA because so much good was done compared to the Democrats. This is a new Trump. And it's so unhinged. He's the guy that had all these countless bankruptcies for casinos and hotels. and, basically he's pumping dumps. But then he looks at me that was shut down by $1.5 billion judgment that tried to shut me down, that was totally rigged, and now he's siding with the people that attacked him against myself and others. So this is the new Trump. He can't be this stupid. He's made some deal with the globalists up above it. No doubt the Rothschilds are his biggest bankers. That's on record. They're the financiers of most of his properties, not the Russians, the Rothschilds out of the UK. And he's sabotaging the midterms. This is a deal. He's not this stupid. And watch what happens in 7 months with the midterms. That is the facts. But, he's all saying, I'm fired. Fired from what? I'm not ever needing access to Trump. I don't, at the end of the day, care about what Trump thinks about me. I wanted Trump to be good. I wanted his policy to be good and not turn against what he stood for. But I'll tell you this, we are shutting down May 30th because the Texas receiver is cutting off, the satellites and everything. We have the Alex Jones Network at AGN Live on X, right here at Real Alex Jones on.
Yeah, we've heard about all this. So, yeah. So dumb. It's so dumb, man. I mean, it's Trump has not been loyal to his supporters since day one. He's really not. So it's not surprising. Not surprising. Let's move on. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Did you guys see this? This shit is crazy. I'll save you from the crap rap music, but this guy's flying in with the American flag to a Virginia Tech game, and it does not go well. And that's got to be terrifying, bro. I mean, he's lucky that caught on something, because like dude, I mean, he could have easily fell off of there, and like that's a fall and a half, bro. Here's another angle of it. Oh, dude, he had to have broken something. Holy shit. Apparently the fire department rescued him and he's okay. I mean, I'm sure he probably had some broken bones. I don't know. Wait, if he didn't break something slamming into this hard, I'm sure it knocked the breath out of him at least, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, there's reports of Kash Patel being so drunk, like his staff has to wake him up, and he's like too drunk to even wake up. But he's suing because he says that's not true. We'll skip that. I want to get to let's get to the Tucker Carlson stuff before we run out of time here. By the way, guys, links are in the description if you want to support the show. Smash the thumbs up. It's much appreciated. We're almost at 100. Let's see if we can get to 100. But this is what started it all off. Basically, PBD came out and accused Catholics of just all Catholics seem to hate Jews. And then Tucker responded to it. And then
here's Patrick Bet-David.
Now we got a little beef brewing between the two.
David on his podcast a day or two ago. Watch this.
I don't know why Catholics, have this issue with Jews. I don't know what it is. They have this. I don't listen. I get the Jews have issues with Christians, and they'll make fun and they'll say stuff like, "Oh, your Jesus is gonna do." They'll say, "Well, he was a Jew anyways, right?" Yeah. But then Catholics have that issue with Jews. And they act like, they're all innocent and everything. And when you look at Catholics, the amount of centralized power they have. Centralized. If you know what the total Catholic population is worldwide? It's like 1.213 billion. Jews are 15 million.
15 million.
But Jews are decentralized, meaning Jews don't have somebody they listen to that says, "Hey, you better do this." Catholics, God forbid you say something about the Pope. They're like, "Hey, man, listen, who is that Pope figure in the Christian community? We don't have one." No. If I ask you right now who's the Pope in the Christian community, you don't have somebody to look at. Who is it? Which pastor?
Yeah, exactly.
No, they don't. We don't have one.
It's an independent network.
It's just the Bible. So if you look at only Catholics and Muslims have somebody that they look at as their supreme leader.
So essentially, Catholics we're just like Muslims. We're a bunch of crazy religious fanatics who hate Jews, and we'll do anything the Pope tells us, right? That's basically what you're saying, isn't it? And why do Catholics hate Jews? I don't think Catholics hate Jews. By the way, I was raised a Catholic. The style of Catholic that I was more of the Latin style of Catholicism, being from South Texas and my whole family being Hispanic. I remember going up north and going to Catholic churches like in the Northeast and being like, it didn't even feel like a Catholic church because it's a very specific vibe that the Latin Catholic churches have that other Catholic churches don't have. I never ran into people hating Jews, dude. We never talked about Jews in my time as a Catholic. Maybe it's different in the Northeast. I don't know. So it's a little weird to me. You
got to go to somebody, but even more, it's Catholic.
Well, there's only two theocracies in the world:
Catholicism and
Islam. The Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yep.
And the Vatican.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, we're just like as crazy as the Muslims, guys. We're a bunch of radicals. I guess we need to start bombing the Vatican next, huh?
Those are the two major theocracies.
So actually, the Vatican is very much like the Nazi Iranian government, the theocratic government, the mullahs. It's all basically the same. They've got the complicated dress. They hate the Jews, as Patrick Bet-David just said. Catholics have a problem with the Jews. It's slander. It's an attack on the world's largest and oldest Christian denomination, and it's taking place openly. And it's all coming from the same source, which is Israel. The issue is Israel. Anyone...
Did you notice that? He was like, the Jews have a problem with the Jews talk. It's fine that the Jews talk all kinds of shit about Christians and look down on us. But if Catholics are a little bit upset with the Jews because they read in the Bible that the Jews had something to do with the crucifixion of their God, okay, but that's a problem. But it's okay if the Jews talk shit about us, right?
Who supports the Netanyahu government, not Israel as a concept, not all Jews. No, the Netanyahu government, anyone who ratifies every decision, no matter how violent or grotesque or genocidal of the Netanyahu government, those are the good people. And anyone who doesn't is a Nazi. And by the way, their religion itself is a Nazi religion. It's an inherently anti-Semitic religion. That's what they're telling you out in the open. And the kind of casual dismissal, the mockery, the loathing of the oldest and largest Christian church, it's just remarkable. Probably the most mocked and yet clearest evangelist of this new faith is Israelism. You could say it's Christianity without the New Testament. And that would be someone, again, who's often made fun of for being dumb or he doesn't know what he's talking about. But it's sometimes people like that that give you the clearest picture of what the people in power really are talking about. And that person would be Sean Hannity. Over Fox News. Not a bad guy, not a mean guy, lifelong Catholic.
Oh, fuck him.
If you asked him, are you a Catholic? Absolutely.
No, he's not a Catholic anymore, Tucker. He left Catholicism over this. Hannity is one of the most disgusting human beings, and I hope history remembers that he bears a lot of responsibility for the Forever Wars because he was on every night selling every fucking war we've ever been in, and he continues to do that job. Fuck Hannity, he's going to burn in hell.
Yeah, I'm a Catholic, and I think he is. It's not an attack or...
And I don't mean that like literally, dude, because I don't know if I even believe in a hell, but you get my point. He's a terrible fucking person.
Even a claim to understand his personal religious faith. But watch Sean Hannity, cradle Catholic, describe the Pope. This is his reaction to the President of the United States attacking the Pope, head of the Catholic Church. And here's Sean Hannity's response as a Catholic to that. Watch.
He doesn't want any conflict anywhere, and he was talking about violence. And I'm like, have you even read the Bible? Have you read the conflicts, the wars that the Israeli people they were empowered by God to defeat their enemies?
Bro, stop reading the Old Testament, okay? Just skip that part. Just get right to the New Testament, dude.
Did you ever hear the story about David slaying Goliath?
Just convert to just become a Jew. We know that's what you want, Hannity. You just want to become a Jew, and that's fine, you know? More power to you. Just convert to Judaism, Hannity, okay?
Through the power of God with a slingshot against this massive giant, or the conflicts and the wars of King Saul and so on and so forth. And frankly, all throughout Israel's history, they've been surrounded by enemies, but as God's chosen people, they against all odds keep winning. Pretty amazing.
So it does take a kind of cable news mentality to say of the Pope, hey, you ever read the Bible? It's hilarious. Hey, the thing about the Pope is, guy's never read the Bible. He's just the Pope. So there's that. Okay, it's funny. But listen to the content, which is actually more interesting and less funny and a little meatier than it seems at first. So the Pope is saying, look, I'm a Christian leader. The Christian gospel, which I represent, however imperfectly this Pope may represent it, from my perspective, imperfectly, but whatever. All Christian leaders have a duty to consult the gospel as they think about their positions on things. That's the whole point, is the gospel. And as a Christian leader, the leader of the biggest Christian denomination, like I'm not for war. And maybe some wars are possibly defensible under just war theory, which no one ever really explains. But you can imagine a war of self-defense that most Christians would feel comfortable with. Being a Christian probably doesn't necessarily mean you oppose all violence in all circumstances. Maybe it should, but in practice it doesn't. But this Pope is just saying something pretty conventional like that. Nothing crazy, actually. No name calling. No great departure from Christian theology or ethics as people have understood it for thousands of years. And the response is, hey, you haven't read the Bible? There's a ton of killing in the Bible. Israel's constantly under attack by its neighbors, the Amalekites, the Philistines, you name it. And they fight back with God's blessing, and they kill. And that's what they're supposed to be doing, which is true, by the way. That is all in there. But it's not in the New Testament. And for Christians, that's the difference. It's not a matter of the Old Testament being irrelevant. It's certainly not. And Christians understand it as one long story. And as Jesus famously said, I came not to abolish the law, but to fulfill it, to bring it to its intended conclusion. I'm here so that the law will have its desired effect on you. But Jesus never offers a single order to kill or hurt anybody. And there's no place in the entire New Testament, the four Gospels, the letters that follow, mostly from Paul, and the vision at the end by St. John called Revelation, there's not one page or sentence in the entire New Testament in which Jesus is recorded saying, they're very annoying, or they're a threat, or they disagree with us, or they're of another faith, kill them. Not once. In fact, it's the opposite of that.
That's true.
In fact, it's so clearly the opposite of that you have to wonder who's reading the Bible and who isn't.
But they create this world where they could just demonize somebody. They can just decide, we want to go to war with Iran, so we're just going to propagandize everybody about how terrible Iran is. And then when I point out, like, hey, this is just propaganda, fear-mongering, well, you're carrying water for Iran. You're basically a spy. You hate America. And it's like, bro, we're supposed to be a Christian nation. We're not behaving like a Christian nation. And to me, like, there's one saying that kind of is a good guideline to be like, am I being Christ-like? Am I being Christian or not? Am I doing unto others as I want done unto me? Okay, this doesn't pass that test. If we had to deal with, if it wasn't America, it was some other country behaving the way America is behaving, doing this to us, we would be fucking outraged. But we can do it to everybody else. And it's, as long as you got Sean Hannity telling you how this is, God wants this, and these people do terrible things, this one person got raped and blah, 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 blah. And then they can justify it and demonize. And so we don't even have to think about it. Oh, okay. What if somebody treated me that way? We don't even have to think about it because, these aren't humans. They're not real people. They don't deserve the dignity of normal humans. It's fucking disgusting, and it's definitely anti-Christian.
In Jesus's very first sermon, in the very first gospel, Matthew 5, the famous Sermon on the Mount, he addresses this really clearly. And I think anybody reading it for the first or 100th time comes away thinking, well, a lot of things, but among them would be Jesus is really down on violence and he's really down on greed. Very much opposed to both, because he says it really, really clearly. And not just down on violence and greed, But taking the prescriptions against those things in the Old Testament and accelerating them to a point that shocking, really, to modern ears, to ancient ears, to any human being. The demands that Jesus makes on people are shocking. He says, for example, all in Matthew 5, worth reading, amazing, really, radical, not really of this world at all, which is kind of the whole point. He says, you've been told not to kill, don't commit murder. Moses told you that. I'm telling you, don't be angry. If you curse somebody, you risk going to hell. That's what he says. So you can debate what that means. Is it possible to apply that standard? Can you actually live up to that? Pretty hard. But what you can't conclude is that Jesus is in favor of dropping bombs on kids, blowing up entire apartment buildings, raping people in prisons.
I mean, it's so funny because it's like, no shit, right? But this is the world we live in now, where it's like, yeah, they can't justify it.
You can't conclude that because it's the opposite of that. And so if you have concluded that by reference to Old Testament texts, the book of Ruth, you're espousing the tenets of religion, but it's not Christianity. It's our new religion, Israelism. That's just what it is.
You're just an anti-Semite, Tucker. But yeah, I mean, Hannity, he sounds like he's about to convert to Judaism, which makes sense. He should do that.
Call it that. Call it that. Just be honest about what you're saying. Outline it for us. Give us the creed. Think of a new name for it. Give us 10 points. We can all recite them. People who don't can be punished. But tell us what the religion is. Be straightforward with us. Stop playing this head trip on us and telling us that something that's clearly anti-Christian is in fact the real Christianity, because that's just not true. And this kind of deception is making everybody crazy.
Okay, so you hear what Tucker has to say. Now let's get to PBD's response, which I think is a pretty fucked up response that doesn't address the issues at the heart of everything, and is just throwing more accusations in a sly way at Tucker, right? It doesn't address it. It's making accusations while acting like you're not making accusations. It's pretty fucking disgusting. This dude is a snake oil salesman. He's a piece of garbage. He claims to be a businessman. I'm just a hardworking businessman. It's like, no, you're just a fucking flim-flam man. You're a scam artist. And now you've scammed your way into this media empire by pretending like you actually care about this country when you clearly do not. So let's listen to that. We're almost at 100. We got 2 more likes till we get to 100, boys. If you can, you've been enjoying the show. Let's see how high we can get the likes going. 1,000 likes, and I will grow wings and fly into the air. Live on the show, I'll fly. I get 1,000 likes. Yeah, of course I'm not going to get 1,000. But yeah, see if we can get to 100. I think we got 1 member. Let's see if you guys want to support the show. Let's see if we can get some more members, too, for the end of the show. That'd be great. Let's see what...
So, Tucker, it's interesting. I watched this video a few times, and respectfully, I want to respond to you because you're a formidable voice. Whether I agree with you or not, you're somebody that's very good at getting your message out there. And I think at this point, if there's anybody that believes in your ability, it's a guy like this, who after I sold my company, offered you a $100 million contract. I even went on your friend Megyn Kelly's show.
Boy, I'm glad Tucker turned him down, because that would be a disaster. Because, right now, he'd be giving the same little treatment that he gives to his workers, Adam or whatever, who you could tell he treats his people like shit. Like he's God. Everybody's got to suck his dick. Every take and opinion he has is literally gospel. He'd be treating Tucker that way. I'm glad Tucker turned down this retard. And by the way, I don't know what's up with this angle, but it's all ears, dude. That's all I see here. Those are some ears, bro. Come on, bro. What is it with people's ears lately? They seem to be getting so fucking big. Have you noticed that? People, I don't know, maybe that's a sign of some sort of corruption of the soul or something. Oh, Hefe with the 10. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the 10. Welcome, everybody. Say thank you to El Hefe. Say thank you, Dan and Sock. Did you get a membership, Holden Dan Sock? Who we got? Derpa, Blue Oblivion, Connor McCarthy, EM, WT6QE, K McDuck, Pyro Crawford, Crystal Alas 84. Thank you, everybody. Say thank you to El Jefe for the generous gifted membership. Thank you, El Jefe, for the support, brother. Really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. Let me mute the dings. so people don't go crazy. Let's get back into this.
When I announced it, and she was asking specific questions, I said, yep, we went to your house, we made the offer, then we spent some time together. I came to Maine, and we did your show, and we've had a couple good conversations together. So I believe in you. I think you're funny, quirky, very good communication, and you have your way of doing things. It's almost like you do twist words a lot, and I noticed you did that with me. He hates Catholics. You know, he hates this. Catholics hate the Jews, and all this stuff that you did. It's a little bit of you're...
Do I got to play the fucking... Let's go... Was he twisting his words? Let's go back and let's watch this again.
Here's Patrick Bet David. Podcast a day or two ago. Watch this.
I don't know why Catholics, have this issue with Jews.
Does this seem... guys, correct me if I'm wrong here. Does this seem like Tucker is twisting his words? Let's hear it one more time.
I don't know why Catholics... have this issue with Jews.
I think you're a fucking racist against Catholics, PBD. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like you got a problem with Catholics, bro.
Shtick which I give, but let me kind of get into a few things. Communication, and you have your... So I believe in you. I think you're funny, quirky, very good communication, and you have your way of doing things. It's almost like You do twist words a lot, and I noticed you did that with me. He hates Catholics. You know, he hates this. Catholics hate the Jews, and all this stuff that you did. It's a little bit of
It's literally what you said, bro. It's literally what you said.
Your shtick, which I give. But let me kind of get into a few things I want to address with you in this video, and maybe you're not aware of it. A few things you need to know about me. My number one priority is to make sure America stays as the greatest country in the world.
I don't believe it.
Period. Full stop. I'm America first. I'm a Christian, non-denominational Christian that you need to know about me. And by the way, I'm Armenian, which, by the way, the first nation that accepted Christianity as their religion was Armenians. And the only ones that debate Armenians on them being first is Assyrians, and my dad is Assyrian. Maybe that's the reason why my parents divorced each other twice, married each other, and divorced each other. So Armenian, Assyrian, Christian, America first. I want this thing to be the greatest country in the world.
You got to do something about those ears, bro. All I can see is those ears. Maybe you need more hair. You need like a longer haircut, so like it kind of the ears don't look like they're so protruding from the skull.
I want capitalism to be common sense for everybody, to realize that if a new person wants to come up and have their dreams become a reality, I want that to be out there. But I wonder if that's where you are today. You were always there for many years until what's happened with you the last couple of years. So let me...
the last couple of years? What happened? PBD? It's almost like there was a betrayal of the movement. It's almost like we are starting these forever wars again and going full neocon, which all of us said, no, we don't want neocons, and Trump ran against being a neocon. Are we going to ignore all of that?
Kind of address a few things. So you said something a couple weeks ago. You said...
So he's not going to address what Tucker said. He's going to find some quote from a couple weeks ago.
Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West.
Tucker, there's not a single Western city that's thriving. Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West. Okay, is it possible that there's some stat that he's pulling from? He's probably talking about like Abu Dhabi, right? Where they have all kinds of fucking money, and it's the crime stats are pretty low from what I understand. It's a very safe area until Iran started bombing it. That I don't think that was good for it. But yeah, I don't know. But again, this is him completely not addressing what Tucker's issue is with Trump, what Tucker's issue is with MAGA, which has to do with the Iran war. And all of us voted to stay out of these stupid fucking wars, no matter how much you try to lie and convince us that we have to. It's America first. These forever wars are actually America first. Like, go fuck yourself. Just don't address all that. Let's just pull up some quote and then attack him, because apparently he must be getting paid from Muslim countries. He's a bought and paid for shill, right?
It's interesting. Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West. It's a pretty bold statement. I mean, it's like you're selling Sharia law more than you're selling America. You had a guest on a couple of weeks ago. Your guest said, that capitalism should not be anywhere near Christianity. Christianity is socialism at its core. You almost agreed with them. And you're like, yes. And you almost agreed with them. So socialism, Christianity at its core, you almost sound like you're supporting maybe a Mamdani in New York.
This is so retarded. So, okay, so it sounds like you're getting paid by Muslims. They're paying you. You're on their payroll. Sounds like you're a socialist. You claim to be a Christian, but you don't understand how the message is, basically, it doesn't, the way people kind of put it together is like, it's not that like government should be run that way, but you in your personal life should behave that way. Okay. So like in your family, in your personal life, you kind of maybe have a socialist mindset of helping others, taking care of the poor, et cetera, et cetera. Is he a socialist Mamdani? Obviously he's fucking not, retard. So this is just wild fucking accusations against Tucker while completely sidestepping the actual crux of what's going on here. This is disgusting work, to be honest.
Or maybe an Ilhan Omar. Maybe those two will be in your podcast in the next few months. I don't know. I'm trying to see what you're solving for. See, this is kind of where I'm at with my life that most people don't know about, but let me kind of share it with you. For 7.5 years, I worked with Mormons. Guess what? I read everything I could on Mormons, and I realized it's not a denomination for me. I'm not interested. I watch all the videos you're not supposed to watch. Ask me how many bad experiences I had with Mormons. 0. They're phenomenal people. I work with Seventh-day Adventists, and I learned that on Saturdays, there's Saturday, Sunday, all these different things. Very interesting. Guy named Juan Rivas, big community. Not for me, but guess what? I got along with them. Jews. I notice Jews, when I do business with them, it's very interesting if you negotiate with them. They're going to be very, very making sure they get all the benefits on their side. But ask me how many times I've had issues with Jews. Never. Okay, if you ask me about Catholics.
So you've never had one issue with a single Jew? You've never had one issue with a single Mormon? You never had a Mormon that, like, you got into a debate or argument with? This is such bullshit.
I built an insurance company with 60,000 insurance agents, 54% Hispanic. And what do you think most Hispanics are? Catholics. Never had one issue with a single Catholic in my life.
I don't believe you. Never had one issue. So you never had a Catholic that... the fuck is that? It's such bullshit.
And last but not least, Islam, Muslim. I lived with them for 11 years. When you say Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West, I lived with the IRGC and the Hezbollah.
Yeah, are you addressing what he's saying, though? Is there some sort of statistic behind what he's saying? Because the quality of life for Americans has gone down. Our infrastructure has not been addressed. We have an old, decaying infrastructure where a lot of these oil-rich Muslim countries have a fucking brand new fucking infrastructure that's, the jewel of technology, the latest technology and everything. So there's probably a stat here that he's referencing that is actually true. But who cares about that? He's obviously, he loves Muslims more than he does America, right?
Laws in Iran, where my mother and my sister were frightened to walk outside. That's this guy. I lived with them, okay? Not hypotheticals. And, we are now both very wealthy. You come from a very wealthy family. I think you also may have married into a wealthy family. And you made a lot of money. You made a lot of money in your life, and your business is doing very well today.
Joe Potato, do you think Tucker is talking about Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran? No, he's talking about the Gulf state countries, dude. He's talking about the very, very wealthy countries like Abu Dhabi and all that shit. Obviously, that's what he's talking about. But yeah, let's be disingenuous here and pretend he's talking about every Muslim country across the world.
When you go to dinner, you're having dinner with people that are going to make sure you see the best side of everything you go to. When I went to Mumbai, they showed me the best part of Mumbai. I went to the slums because I wanted to see what it looked like. Whatever part of the world I go to, I get treated royally today. Why? Because they want to show me the best. But I lived in the worst when our family had nothing. Literally nothing is what we had when we lived in Iran. Regular places, we lived in the city of Tehran. But you know, as crazy as that is, do you know my chef that lives with us? When we go on the road, he's with us all the time. Do you know he's Muslim and he's Turkish and he's still a Muslim? And do you know what Turks did to Armenians and Assyrians? You ever heard of the Armenian genocide? This
is so fucking retarded, dude. You're not addressing the argument. This is so fucking dumb. He never passes up an opportunity to like build himself up.
Syrian genocide.
Is he going to mention he's a businessman again? I'm a businessman. Let's see how many more times he mentions that.
You ever heard of that? 1.5 million, 300,000, 200,000. I love this guy. He's a great guy to us. He's very good to us because I isolate the relationship with that individual. And I still tell him how concerned I am with what Islam could do to America. I am still concerned.
Yeah, I'm concerned too. That's why we need to be deporting and not bringing in fucking people right now, okay? Look, if you're a Muslim American, you're a citizen, okay, great. You're a Muslim American, you're a citizen, but we need to stop bringing in more Muslims. And you know what tends to bring in, to increase the influx of fucking Muslims coming into this country? Starting wars against Muslim countries and then creating refugee crises where for some reason we end up taking so many of them. So yeah, maybe, Trump could get back to the agenda we voted for to actually deport people that shouldn't be here in this country in the first place. But no, he sidetracked it. He started a war. He's going to create a humanitarian crisis. It's going to bring about more Muslim immigration. And you are supporting that because I guess, you had a bad time as a kid in Iran. They must have been real mean to you in Iran.
Of that, of what's happened in many different societies. Look at, what they're doing in Minnesota, many markets that we read about. Look at what's going on.
Yeah, so let's deport them all then. You think Tucker's not for deporting all of them, retard? Obviously he is. Hey, all the Somalis, get rid of their green cards. Send them all back home. Any Muslim that's not an American citizen, anybody of any country that's not an American citizen, you should go back home. Okay? You can come, if you have money, you can come vacation, but then you go back home. Okay? America's for American citizens. All right? So let's deport all of them. Yeah, he's possessed. He's possessed by some ancient fucking...
Going on in New York right now. Look at what's going on in a couple places in Plano on how they're growing. And so Charlie Kirk, whom you and I think both admire, Charlie Kirk once said, I think it was 2 days before he was killed. I think it was 1 day before he was killed. He said, Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. Let me read it to you one more time. Islam.
Yeah, but it starts with us going over there and destabilizing these fucking countries and creating the refugee crisis in the first place. So, again, if you're against that, you should also be against going over there and starting more fucking quagmires and foreign wars that lead to the very problem that you're complaining about right now. Meanwhile, but you're for the wars. And I guarantee you can find Patrick Bet-David talking about how he's against foreign wars and he's against the neocon bullshit, and right? But then as soon as he goes full neocon, he's right on board, sucking that neocon dick. These are the people that we need to fucking disassociate with. These are the grifters who clearly do not believe in America first, do not believe in actually solving the problems in this country, and they're just grifting for the money. We need to identify these fuckers and get them the fuck out of any political movement. And whatever our next political movement is that is going to claim to be America first, if these people are involved, it's not America first, and you need to run.
Is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. Do you agree with Charlie? Because I do. I do. Because it's all like, hey, let's make it not a big deal. Let's be tolerant.
Okay, do you agree with Charlie about the Iran war, though? Because Charlie would have also said, yeah, we also need to stop going and blowing all these countries up and creating the refugee crisis in the first place. But yeah, we're going to pick and choose his arguments, right? Okay. Again, not one mention of the Iran war, which is the heart of the argument here. The heart of the issue, why Tucker's a bad guy now, why Tucker's turned on Trump, why Alex Jones has turned on Trump. The heart of that issue is the Iran war, not one mention of it.
Let's be tolerant Christians. Sharia law has made Islamic societies more advanced than the West. Let's just be tolerant. It's okay. Let's be tolerant. Let's accept all this stuff. Let's allow all this immigration that's going on in you.
He's never said that, fuckhead. When did Tucker say let's allow? Tucker has the base same fucking views on immigration as America First has always had, which is we need to get people the fuck out. We need deportations. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never heard Tucker Carlson arguing for we need to bring more Muslims into this country. And then do people listen to this guy and actually fall for this bullshit?
Okay, it's not a big deal. They're not that bad. It's fine. They don't live the way you do. They just don't. They don't live by the values you and I live in America. They don't. Now, if you I have a lot of friends that, like Andrew Tate chose to become a Muslim. If you've already converted, but you've not made the announcement publicly, listen, to each his own. You're making that decision as an adult. I support it. More power to you. But my priority is America first. My priority is to make sure we advance America in a way that young men are able to make enough money to get married and have 3+ kids.
Then why are you for the Iran war, fuckhead? Do you understand there's a direct connection there with the suffering and the poverty of Americans and our dollar going nowhere and becoming more worthless every day and these fucking wars that we keep kicking off? Those things don't add up, bro. It doesn't add up that you believe any of that.
Preferably 4. And be able to have their kids' dream become a reality where if they want to go build a business and make billions, do it. If you want to make millions, do it. If you want to go in the military, do it. If you want to go out there and, have a regular job, making $58,000 a year at whatever company, but you're happy about your job because you're a school teacher, go do it. That's what I want. And as a Christian man, non-denominational, Christ is king. I say that comfortably.
You got to give him credit. He's a good liar. He's a fucking top of the line. Like, if you want to learn how to be a good liar, study this guy. Because he's so believable as he's lying. Like, it's almost convincing me. Because he's that good of a liar.
My life changed the day I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior, January 21st of 2004. I will say that to a Jew, to a Muslim, to a Catholic, to anybody. That's my faith. And every day I fall short. When we first moved to Florida for the first 30 days, every single night, I would walk and I would listen to this version of Amazing Grace because that's the only thing I relate to. Those words, you know the words. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. That
I bet you he goes to one of these Christian churches where they just like worship money. And I bet you he got in there like, and the Christian pastor realized, oh, this is a rich guy. I'm going to give him extra attention, and we're going to have little conversations about how important you are in God's plan, and God chose you. But something that happens with people that have this type of success. They start to really think that God put them there. God chose me to have this success. God gave me all this success. And it's like, I'm chosen by God. I'm special. I'm God's one of God's special. It's like, no, fuckhead. You just scammed a bunch of people. You came up with a fucking scam that's technically legal and you made a bunch of money off of it. And now you pretend like you're some righteous fucking guy because you ripped off a bunch of fucking people. Fucking complete garbage, bro.
I want to read this thing to you. That saved a wretch like me, like this guy, regular guy, a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Jesus Christ changed my life. And I'm a Christian man saying this.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him at all, bro.
A business owner. Most people don't know what I do throughout the day. I run Christian man saying this.
He's a business owner.
Most people don't know what I do throughout the day. I run companies for a living. I'm not a media guy.
He's not a media guy, guys. He's a businessman. This is just, he doesn't spend all day recording fucking video clips and screaming at editors to make them look cool. No. He barely puts any time into this. The rest of the time, he's a business guy. He's such a fucking genius business mind. This is all an act, bro. This is all a fucking act.
We've grown this business from 9 employees to 165 employees. I'm in meetings from morning till night, and I love what I do because I live in the greatest country in the world. So, message back to you. I don't want to be enemies with you. Although if you want to be enemies, I'm okay with that as well. It doesn't bother me. But
yeah, this is a good person to pick an enemy of. Tucker, please make him your enemy and call him out. There's a lot there, Tucker. Okay? Because what he's doing is he's being disingenuous. He's being bad faith. He's having like straw man arguments. He's not even addressing the crux of the issue, which is the Iran war, the betrayal of the America First movement, the anti-Christian fucking behavior of our country when it comes to these type of wars.
At Nephilim-Death-Squad super chatted $5. PBD got that swap meet swag. I saw a PBD infomercial and I swear he did the 666 AOK hand sign. Illuminati confirmed. Matthew chapter 19 verse 24 Reddit.
Yeah, I mean, I would believe that PBD would join the Illuminati. I think he would. In my humble opinion, you know, if he could further his career and put more money in his bank, of course he'd join the Illuminati. I mean, it's proven already. Again, we really have to pay attention. We learned a lot during COVID. We learned the people that are not very trustworthy during COVID, who would suck the government's dick. And if the government told them, hey, you need to murder this guy, they'd just murder you and they wouldn't think twice. So, you know, we learned who those people were. And now with the Iran war, we're learning who the fake America First types are. The types who really don't give a fuck about America First, don't care about the suffering of the American people, who are just in it to enrich themselves. And we're figuring out who those people are now. And we need to learn and remember. Thank you for the 5, brother. I don't want to be enemies with
you, because I actually
Thank you.
want to believe deep down inside you love America. You love America. I want.
So essentially, he's saying he doesn't believe Tucker Carlson loves America, right? You got to pay attention. He's a scammy guy, so he's putting it in a way where he's trying to say it without saying it. Essentially, what he's saying is, I really want to believe you love America. So what he's hinting at is that Tucker does not love America. That Tucker's loyal to some other foreign fucking entity, which ties in to a lot of the neocons wanting to actually investigate and throw a lot of us in jail who are against the war because apparently we're being bought and paid for by some other foreign country. Because why would we ever be against a stupid war unless we're, you know, getting paid by Iran or something?
Deep down inside, you love America. You love America. I want to believe deep down inside you're there. And whether you know this or not, you have a lot of influence right now. I do think one of the topics that's going to be an issue on the ballot for 2028 will be Israel, control, AIPAC, all of that stuff. And I'd like to see how that, you know, pans out and how it goes, because I like debates. I watch these debates. I watch what...
I've seen some polls. I mean, one of the good things about Democrats, yeah, they don't support Israel. So I don't know, Democrats, you know, maybe make that part of your fucking, I know they're not, right? The people who vote Democrat are going to be massively disappointed when the Democrats run on a, you know, decoupling from Israel fucking policy type shit. And then they get in and it's just going to be more Israel first bullshit. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Takes place. You know, I watch to see where the market is going to. So I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're trying to get behind a Massey, because I think he's a pretty capable, talented guy. I don't know if you want to run. I don't know what you're solving for. I don't know if you're like, well, I don't care if we win the midterms. I don't care. Let a Democrat win. Maybe sometimes America needs to go through the...
You don't know what he's solving for? Are you retarded? You're this amazing genius of a businessman, and you can't understand what is actually the issue that Tucker has? Dude, we voted for no new wars, and then Trump started a new war. Okay? We voted for some sort of relief to the cost of living. Trump started a new war. Okay? Gas prices are going up. Cost of energy is going up. The cost of living is going up. Not to mention all of the other shit that he's just kind of dropped. All the other shit that we voted for that's just, I forgot. Oops, I forgot all these promises I made to do all these things. What's he solving for? He's solving for trying to basically call out what he disagrees with when it comes to Trump's decision-making, the path that he's decided to take as president. That's it. What are you talking about? This guy's such a fucking idiot.
Process, because I want to see destroy the GOP and start all over again. I don't know. Maybe that's the vision. If it is, more power to you. That's not my vision.
Well, yeah, if they're not going to be the GOP we voted for, then yeah, maybe they should be destroyed. If we voted for America First and we got neocons, then maybe we do need to destroy the GOP. We at least need to destroy the neocons, but somehow they keep getting elected. Thank you, South Carolina.
My vision isn't that. And I have a sprinkle of libertarian in me because I want to be left alone and just kind of allow me to do that kind of stuff. So whenever I have the conversation and I listen to it, Dave, I agree with a lot of the stuff libertarians also believe in, but I think there's an end to it because we've already started a country the way that we are. And so you and I both get accused of something I've already done and just kind of allow me, vision isn't that. And I have a sprinkle of libertarian in me because I want to be left alone and just kind of allow me to do that kind of stuff. So whenever I have the conversation and I listen to it, Dave, I agree with a lot of the stuff libertarians also believe in, but I think there's an end to it because we've already started a country the way that we are. And so you and I both get accused of something. I want you to process this, and I want you to know I'm open to it. You get accused of, this guy, Tucker's taking money. Oh, Pat's a Zionist. He's taking money from Israel. Never been to Israel. AIPAC messaged me and told me, you want to come to Israel? I said, I have no interest in going to Israel for you to pay for me. I'm going to go one day with my pastor. We've never taken money from anybody. And I'm so confident with myself on what I've done because there's only one thing I fear in my life, and that's God. I don't fear anything more than I fear God. And trust me, I fear God a lot because this thing's like this.
I fear God a lot because this thing's like this. I don't think you fear God. I think you think you're God. Maybe there is a part of your conscience that does fear Judgment Day because, you've not been a very good boy.
If you ever wanted to have fun, and let's just say, put it out there on the line, and again, I'll put the onus on you if you're open to this or not. Let's go hire 3 accounting firms. You pick one, I pick one, and let's get a third party that we both agree on, maybe like a KPMG, PwC, and BKD, hypothetically. Some of the biggest firms you probably recognize. You have money. You've done well for yourself. Let's have them do audited financials on me, my wife, and you and your wife, and report back to see if I've ever gotten paid from Israel and report back to see if you've ever gotten paid from Qatar or Pakistan or any of these guys. All the businesses, all the LLCs, all the accounts, you know how this kind of works. They can kind of figure that out. And let's be honest with the audience. Let's be honest with the audience.
First of all, Tucker is not a fucking retard. There's no way he would ever agree to this because this is retarded. And this is just such a fucking sneaky way of attacking somebody because, again, not once is he addressing the crux of the argument. Not once is he addressing the issues that Tucker Carlson has. All of this is just like, oh, you're just, you don't love America. You love Muslims more than America. And I think you're probably getting paid by some Muslim country. So let's do an audit and prove you're not getting paid. This is some low level bullshit, bro. Meanwhile, he just completely skips over what the actual debate is.
If you're open to it, I'm available. We'll have to spend $500,000, something like that, because it's going to take a few weeks for them to do it. I am fully open to that idea if you are. And by the way, I know this may make you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to accept this offer, but I'm telling you, I'm comfortable if you want to do it. You don't have to do it because it's a little bit private, so I'm sure you're going to come out and say, how dare he want to look at my wife's bank accounts and all this other stuff, because some people may say, well, they can pay your wife and not through you, and I get that as well, and that's why I want to be a little bit transparent with you. I've tried many times to build a relationship with you. It's been challenging.
Maybe because Tucker's looked up who you are, bro. Maybe Tucker actually did some research and went, oh, this guy's kind of a shady guy. MLMs? He made his money with MLMs? I don't know. It's kind of greasy. Maybe I should distance myself. Tucker, please go to war. I need content, Tucker. Go to war. Respond to this. Tucker hasn't responded to this yet, and he might not, because sometimes he just goes, fuck him. He's not going to play that game. But please go to war. We need this guy to fucking be brought down to size, okay? This guy is not good for this country. All these fucking people that get these giant fucking platforms, all the algorithmic love in the world, and they always end up becoming shills. And when you need them to stand up for what matters, to stand up for what's right, to stand up and work for the American fucking people so that our lives can be improved, they disappear. Nowhere to be found. Busy selling wars and... Please, Tucker, we need you to go to war. We need war, Tucker.
But I do want you to know that as a Christian man myself, no matter how much you go to a place, as a Christian man myself.
Look, I don't know, dude. Just the face he makes right after he says that. Imagine if I said, as a Christian man myself, it's almost like he could feel himself being set on fire being set on holy fire in the pits of hell. As he said it, he's like, oh man.
But I do want you to know that as a Christian man myself,
I can't get over that. Like, it is something that, come on, I don't believe you're a Christian. I'm sorry.
No matter how much you go to a place to not want to believe in somebody,
you're probably as much Christian as you were America first. Meaning, you're gonna fucking you're gonna associate in Christian circles to get that benefit of that kind of networking, and then you're gonna use the Christian message to grift to Christians and make them think you're one of them. Meanwhile, you're just collecting money bags in the background, dude. You're just like, how many money bags can I collect? Oh, I'm going to be Mr. Moneybags.
I've been instructed by God to try to do my best to have some grace.
You've been instructed by God. Yeah. God's little special angel here, dude. God put PBD on this earth just to rip people off with MLMs. That's what God said. Your purpose is to scam regular Americans of their hard-earned money. That's what I put you here for, PBD.
And I believe in you. I believe in your abilities. But I believe in God and America more than I believe in any man in America, because I've seen many great empires fall. And for as long as I'm alive and I'm kicking, and if God wants to use me as a voice to elevate how amazing of a country we live in, how lucky we are to be here, I'm going to use my voice to elevate that message. I've been doing that since the time I went to dinner with a few different people in LA, and I was inspired, and I was finally taught about how amazing this great country is that we escaped Iran after 11 years.
Bro, I'm telling you, so many of these people get rich, and then they get some fucking Christian pastor who fills them up with like, God chose you, God put you here, God, and then they're like, oh, I'm a voice of God, and they get this delusion that like, they're working for God and God chose them. As like, oh, you're just a delusional fucking psychopath. You're just a delusional fucking psychopath. Okay? If anything, God doesn't like you. Okay? If you're even on God's radar, it's because he doesn't like you. Okay? But I'm God's little chosen weapon. God chose me to scam people so I can become rich and have a voice, and I'm so powerful and influential, and everybody listens to me, and I'm literally like Jesus, but I'm not Jesus, can't say that, but I'm Jesus, but not Jesus. Okay, PBD.
Then went to Germany at a refugee camp, and then finally came here. I served the U.S. Army 101st Airborne Division, one of the most proudest days of my life when I went into the U.S. Army. So that offers back to you. Now, you have my cell phone number. If you want to call me, have a conversation, I'd love to.
Yeah, call him and set him straight, dude. I hope I do. I want to, seriously, people need to start. Too many people have propped this guy up. Joe Rogan propped him up. Alex Jones propped him up. Everybody propped up this guy, but what's the worst part is like, it's not been a secret that this guy's a shady fucking piece of shit. It's been well known. People have talked about it. People have done a lot of exposés on how this guy got his money. A lot of that content is still up there where he's selling his MLM fucking scam bullshit. So yeah, it's time. Like Alex, you need to. Alex played a part in making this guy big. Alex did a episode with this guy right in the heart of him being censored, where Alex cried and Alex was drunk. And Alex, we got somebody here you need to address, Alex. Please.
I'd love to.
Tucker as well, but I think Tucker's going to play the high road.
Talent. I respect your ability on what you've done. But if you send your followers, and you got a lot of people that will do whatever you do, because you're the head guy at the top, and all the other people that follow whatever you say. So I trust all of them are going to probably attack me. I hope they don't, because I'd like to see that if the day Charlie passed, it was a heavy burden on me, because I have young boys that love.
Bro, all these people, they're using Charlie Kirk's dead carcass for credibility. It is at a certain point, it becomes kind of disgusting. It's like, Charlie Kirk, it hurt me so much when Charlie Kirk died. It's like, you didn't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk, bro. Stop pretending like you fucking cared about Charlie Kirk. You don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk, dude.
Charlie, I've never seen my son get emotional for 30 minutes the day Charlie died, and I was at an event that I couldn't even get to my son that night.
It's all about you, right?
I think there's a lot of movements that need our help. I'm willing to contribute in my own way. If you are willing to contribute, you know how to get a hold of me. You have my cell phone number. God bless.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's just a scammy guy, dude. You could just look at them. You could see it. There's nothing there. Just how do I get mine, bro? How do I get mine? Fuck everybody else. Well, this has been a fun show, guys. Thank you. I think that's all we got for now. But we'll hang out for a little bit and chat because my normal way of looking at the chat has been fucked the whole show. So let me see if it's working now. My OBS feed of the chat is not working. Yeah, it's still not working. I might need to update OBS. How's everybody doing? He looks pleading. Let's call him now. I wish if I had his number, I'd call him. But yeah, I should text Alex and say, dude, you need to go to war against PBD. This time this guy gets taken down. Really, do I mean, this is what's going on. I mean, I kind of saw this happening a while back, which is like the neocons are going to go to war with the America First, the real MAGA movement, who I think the genuine MAGA types were, the real America First. And it's going to be a battle for the future of the conservative party, the future of the GOP. And man, they won that shit easy. I thought we were going to have a real battle for it, but no, they apparently they got Trump to just listen to everything they say and to basically disown the real America First movement, to where he's attacking the real America First movement. It's crazy, bro. They didn't even need to win an election. They have like no ability to win elections other than like locally, like Lindsey Graham in South Carolina. I don't know why the fuck they keep voting for him. But other than that, you know, they could just get power without even winning elections. It's amazing. Thank you guys for the support. Picture up, hope you're good, homie. Chat happy. Yeah, happy 420. I forgot. Yeah, happy 420, everybody. Yeah, it's a special day. Just hearing him speak makes my skin crawl. I feel you, Blind Reflex. I'm kind of the same way. But I do want to cover it, so I'm hoping there'll be some more. We might have to listen to this slimy guy speak some more. Let me get him off the screen. Sorry about that. Sorry, forcing you guys to look at him for that long. That's not fun, I know. But thank you guys for the support. Everybody that super chatted, the members, El Jefe, thank you for the gifted members, the 10 gifted members, 123 likes. You guys rock. We'll try to get back to the swing of things this week and have another four shows this week at least. So yeah, I'm trying my best to figure out, because like I said, things have changed a bit, so I have to figure out how to. I got to find a new normal, because I had a normal kind of operating, how to handle my personal life and do the show, and that's gotten. I got to figure out the new way forward, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but we'll be back this week, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow night for sure. Sure, there'll be a lot of fun stuff to cover, and yeah, whatever's going on, we'll talk about it. But thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, have a wonderful night. Happy 420, all that good stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.